Opposite my house, there's a lady that also, I think, the other street, who just met the father. And all of a sudden, the guy came, and her life transformed.
You thought the same.
This is me, thinking this is what's going to happen. So, if you take up and say, all that time, this guy looks at me. He sits up.
In my house.
At Windsor. How do you come to my house and stand like this? Is that how your mother brought you up? Yo, Chaka, I lost it. Do you know, I keep saying all the time that Exam Ruhangayona, Nakilibisi the time. I gave it to him. My kids did the most funniest thing. I mean, this story, I think, oh, Jesu Tlompulaya. Look what he They walk past me. This is my house. You are going to talk to me. The American sitcoms. So you are bedroom and hey, that's still my house.
That's my door.
That's my door. 2 days later, I'm just checking on my phone. There's a video I don't know here. I played a video. My kids, they took my phone, recorded a video.
Yeah.
Papa, listen to this. We know you are single. We know you are still dating around. Don't do that. That was so awkward. Even worse for that lady. Don't do things like that. Papa, listen, when you get somebody eventually, you are going to introduce them to us. But now, you are making it so awkward for us. Hey, do you, boo?
King David Studio Podcast.
I have a star in the studio. Someone in my world. We shouldn't. I must put it on record. Naga DJ. When we meet, I don't know.
Kilo chive,
Kenny Mackenzo.
All of my brother.
My blah.
Yeah.
Where am I steering?
No, I'll check. Give me steering. No. I promise you. Look at my eyes. I'll check. So it's going to be no. You know. Marabara gitle go wena awuthaka karne ngasi goni who disappoint King David. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm humbled by your words because when someone like yourselves who does so much work and who's done so much says that I got her.
All of my bro.
Got her.
All of my brother.
You're raising girls.
Yes.
Only girls.
Yes.
Do you consider it, and I'll say it loosely, you answer it the way you want. Do you consider it a blessing or a curse?
I'm truly blessed.
Yeah.
I'm truly blessed. But I will tell you as an African man, there is no African man that doesn't want a son. I know that for a fact. You know, I think my firstborn was a girl and my secondborn was a girl again. And I thought it was going to be a boy. You know, you wanted your mini-me. You know, that guy that would look up at Australia. And all that. And I realized, and you know, when I look back, family, it's you know, and like now, Revive go off in like. I lost my brother, my big brother and my younger brother. And it's just me and my two sisters now.
So go ahead now.
Now, paint everywhere.
Go ahead, we run the project. The reason I asked whether it's a gift or a curse, and you say you consider yourself lucky to have girls.
No, because I never asked for a boy when I wanted a child. I asked for a child from God. And he gave me a baby girl. Ntando Nobuntu Nkosi was my first girl.
And how was it?
That was the most amazing time of my life. Remember, you know, I was with friends at the time who already had kids. I mean, you know, they started into snacks. Early blind. And now I was very conscious about that. I never wanted to have a child very early on in my life.
But what is early in your world?
For me, being at 20, 21, 22, or 23, to me was too early.
Yeah.
I haven't even established myself.
That's true.
You know, and I needed to be able to have somebody that I can take care of, right? I've got a history of a father who was not there. So I needed to make sure that I am that best father. So at the age of 29, that's when I had my first daughter.
Wow.
And at the time, I already had established myself, and I knew enough so that I can be able to take care of the child. Yeah. So that's why I did it.
And gift or a curse, having girls in our society can be tricky.
Yeah.
I imagine, God hasn't blessed me with kids yet, but I imagine safety, all the things that happen in our society. You know, all of those things can be a bit of you consider twice. Out.
Yeah, no, I understand that truly, but I mean, very early on, I was at peace with the fact that
oh,
right? Wow. God will protect them. I've seen people growing up and become successful in their lives without parents. Without anybody, because God brought them here, right? God do unfair, or so that you can be able to clothe them, feed them, protect them, guide them, and make them the best person they could be, they can be, you know,
deliver them to society,
and they'll have to deal with that. I mean, you know how many times you get the guys coming to me and say that, hey, man, now worried, man, about but you know, I'm so relaxed with that because I think I've done everything I could to teach my kids and tell them about decision making and tell them about consequences and tell them about a whole lot of things. At the end of the day, it's going to be their lives. They're going to have to take care of themselves. Remember again,
so you recognize your role in the story. You're merely a vessel.
Yeah, I'm a vessel. And that's what it is, nothing more.
Do you think it's a role we misunderstand?
I think we do, you know, and I was hoping, you know, a bunch of friends that I've had, you know, and I'm so blessed with having friends like that who really are there in their kids' lives. Yeah. It's something that we've always conversed about and always spoken about. More than everything else. That's why right now my other girl who just matriculated, she's in a production I'm working on right now.
Okay.
Because she decided to go, I want a gap year. What is a gap year? No, Papa, I'm tired of school and all that. For my mental health, I need to rest and all that. Okay, but in this house, everybody must pitch in somehow, right? So I start my production on the 5th of January, and you are with me.
Let's go.
My call time is 5:30 in the morning. And that was it. She's there now. And she's an intern. I'm like, I don't necessarily want her to get to be in the industry, but experiment.
Like you don't want the year to be
wasted.
Yeah.
Because you can never waste a year like and do nothing with Sekai. You know, big TV. And next thing, the other day, I'm on set at 6:00. Sister, Papa, I'm sorry, I'm coming. Now start taking you'll find a way. You'll find me there.
Yes, why?
Because you are preparing them for a life that they're going to have to deal with. There's no longer, Papa, take me to school, Papa. This is about you. It's the beginning of your life. True. The decisions that you are going to make for yourself, for your children, and for your future and your future of your children. And if you don't do it now, that would be unfair. And we've got to understand that that's why we are here. That's why we are a parent. Because, you know, you need to be able to help.
What wrong do we do when we get that concept wrong?
Yeah.
Because you're describing it so clearly that and that's why I asked it and said, do we misunderstand that role?
Yeah.
What is the wrong version of that role as a parent? You said it very clearly. You're a parent. Your job is to teach, empower, prepare them for society.
As soon as, and it happens a lot, I find with the single mothers. Single mothers do that a lot, especially more than single mothers. Ngosaka, they're not my friends.
So you don't even want, my dad is my best friend.
No, I don't need that. In fact, they know my kids. When you ask them, go start saying, hey, I guess your father is funny. He must be funny about Papa. Because at home, I'm dead.
Ooh.
Go studio.
Yes, not here.
Papa, you've got those dishes are going to be washed. They're going to be cleaned. You're going to do your homework. You're going to polish those shoes. You are going to do that. And if I get home, sometimes I'm wrapped at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get to the sink full of dishes. You're up. You know, the other day, they're going to hate me for this story, but I have to tell them. I do the same thing. I wake them up. And I'm like, Buffett, how do you sleep? You be comfortable. No, cleaning. So you cannot do that. And I dress.
You wake them up.
Yeah, I wake them up and I get a tiger salad. The next thing, they don't talk to me.
What deal?
They walk past me. This is my house. You are going to talk to me. What's some the American sitcoms? So yeah, bedroom and hey, that's still my house.
That's my door.
Yeah, I promise you that weekend they had to go to Soweto where my sister still lives, my parents' house. And they go to her and go like, "Oh, Papa, he came and the way he spoke to us, when we have a right. Okay, when you spoke to him like that, where were you? No, go high, go. What's that place? No, home. His home, his place. The one he bought. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about something else. But if it's his home, shame. You're gonna have to listen to him. I'm not democracy, damn. You see, so I see a lot of single mothers overcompensating.
Yeah.
You know, this thing of wanting to play the father. The father is not there. You can never be the father. You are the mother. Play the mother. You know, I went to a friend, I won't even mention the name. We are there and the diplomacy, emergency, the sister, we're friends. And this boy comes, the son, this lady, goes, Mama, I need to go now.
Oh, the son is telling you.
I need to go now. I'm coming now. I'm still talking to Uncle Raps, Uncle Kenny in the shop. 10 minutes later, Ma. Hey, I'm like, this boy. Hey, when? Get out, rubber fail. How do you speak to your mother like that?
Yeah.
No, but she promised me money to buy some shoes and I need to go. I'm like, what? This is what happens in that house all the time. This is what, it happens in that house all the time.
Oh, no.
It just happened at the wrong time we were there. You know why? Because it gets away with everything. Because mama will move for everything.
Yeah.
Mama, they allow about jolly by everything. No, I mean, nah.
No, but he's a child.
I'm going to be introduced at some point to some boyfriend.
You know,
I'm not having boys coming in and out and being
never.
introduced to a whole
the
lot
only
of
time you want to see them is
it's when they say, please have your child in marriage. That's what I'm talking about.
Sure.
WhatsApp, man. WhatsApp. No.
You know the way you describe it, somebody once said to me, these kids, when you spoil them, ele stock sweets.
Yes.
Eba ice cream. Eba bicycle. Yoba beer.
Yeah.
Yoba beer.
Yeah.
And where it's the same thing to them, but because now they're not into stock sweets anymore,
right?
They're into beer now.
Yeah.
So you have to live up to that.
Yeah.
And not long, can you go I say girlfriend dating?
Now you are in trouble.
No rent.
No. What's about now? I've brought up my kids in such a way. Oh. You know, where one will come to me and say, you know, Papa, I want to go to the ice rink this weekend. And I'll say, what Papa Namal? Because I'm not about to tell everybody. They must decide. You know, during Corona, do you know how bad things were, David?
Ooh, for actors.
Yo, it was. Listen, I have a contract with MultiChoice for DSTV. I'm been their brand ambassador for years, you know, for DSTV Access, you know, the mass market one.
The commercials, European commercials.
So I was doing a lot. So I promise I was getting paid on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing okay.
So there was what is it, a retainer or per call?
No, it was a retainer.
Okay.
It was a retainer. So I was smart. You know? I didn't have to work anywhere, right? Yeah. I mean, I was able to build 2 homes with that. So that's how great things were. You know, and then comes Corona, right? We spent the first year, I think it was 2000, right?
20 years.
And they are 2020, they are paying me, but I'm home.
Ooh.
And
how does that feel?
You know, it felt like, it was not good. I'm not doing anything, you know, but I was able to do that. Then I was able to save up a bit of money. Mara then yaqhubeka. Comrade Cyril Mretsang. Yeah, munna. And that now charity as well. I said again.
By stopile multi.
I stop it come on. I didn't understand what I mean. Comrade is party and you know it makes sense.
Absolutely.
You know, so they stopped it and I had to continue with my life and it became tough and tougher. Yeah. In fact, the recovery year for night is this year.
Really?
Even last year was still.
You're still pulling it hard.
No, but I get this industry. But I COVID fees.
Oh.
And I could not allow myself to do that.
COVID fees are lower.
Obviously, but desperate. You need something. So it's you know, DJs went through that. A whole lot of people went through that, and I was like, I refuse. I would rather stay at my house, watch my TV until it's red at the back.
I'm good.
I am good because what's going to happen when everything is okay?
You'll still be at now. You've dropped your level.
Of course, you've dropped your level. So people, when they come to you with that mentality that I've been 29 years in this industry. I've been working my ass. I've been working hard. I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say words like this in this show.
S is fine.
S is fine.
Yeah.
I'm not in that other podcast. The other podcast, they say also.
The other one is we're friends.
I know you're friends. Yeah. So more. I
like that. We're not supposed to say S in this show.
Sorry, man.
You still watch it.
I still watch it. I love it. I love it when I deal with other people.
Oh, not you.
Not me. I was with McG not so long ago at the airport. So I'm flying to Cape Town. I'm shooting there, and I think he was going somewhere as well. So I'm like, man, you must come, Baba. Hey, we need you there. I'm like, sure, McG. Sure, Baba. So somewhere. Somewhere.
I disrupted your story, man. Yes, you were telling about COVID, how tough it was.
I promise you, it was so tough. You know, when you sit home and there's nothing, and the banabamu. Do you know? I used to literally send my kids back to go to my sister, go Soweto, or their moms, so that they don't see what I'm going through when I'm alone. You know, because I would sit by myself in that bedroom. I'm thinking, and those calls are coming in. You are in the areas. In Tonton.
Kenneth Nkosi.
Oh, God. But by God's grace, I've got this thing, I've got this positive mentality. I always believe everything is seasonal. There is a moment where something is going to change. Yeah, but for now, if I have to lose whatever I have to lose, then it is what it is. But I know I'm going to be fine. You know,
I believe that people who were once able to make money, they're able to do it again.
You can always do it again.
And again and again.
Yeah. I'll tell you, when I started working, remember I was brought up by a single mother. I was not spoiled. I didn't have flashy clothes and all that.
Not BMX.
It's not by BMX, you understand? So when I started working, the account, Edgar, sales house, you know, hey, and the 3-4 months later, I felt like when I was younger at the time. I feel like my world is caving in. Yeah. When there's a knock, I'm thinking they're coming for me and all that.
So you've gone through that.
I've gone through this,
and you recovered.
I recovered. So it's going to be okay.
But tell me the worst moment about being broke during COVID.
Yeah.
And I say this, you know, you're the second person. We had Nambita here.
Yeah. And
she described COVID from a perspective that I'd never thought about.
Yeah.
Because I didn't experience a lot of death during COVID.
Yes.
I was very lucky. We made a few decisions prior to COVID to move people around.
Yeah, cool.
You know, older people mustn't be here.
Right,
there were those type of decisions that were made, and it paid off. And when she came here, she spoke about a lot of death. In the family and friends and even went as far as mentioning some people in the industry, colleagues,
and all
there
that.
You go. Absolutely. And I remember realizing how bad, like seeing it. From someone who's sitting in front of me like that, or we tend to forget how bad that moment was.
Right.
Describe for me how bad the worst was financially for you. Give me a sense of a typical day when there was just nothing.
My uncle dies. I'm now a big brother in the family. The call comes to me. Right? My younger brother dies. I'm that guy in the family. the call comes to me. And what's about you have got sisters and all that, obviously they'll make those few contributions. But in my life, I've made so many friends. I've made so many friends. What about diversity? They are from all over the place. You know, and then you see people like Borapula and CPMO and who came through for me. You know, friends who really came through.
Who knew Wakate?
Who knew it was bad?
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend called Vuyo Mabindisa who is the owner of Vuyo's Funerals.
Oh yes.
And Vuyo was like, Duana's Skawara, we'll cover this.
Yeah.
You know? So and I valued friendships, the friends that I have. You know, I really valued my friends because of that. Because it was that bad.
Oh.
You know, I mean it's one thing. Listen, we never went to bed hungry. We would eat. But it was my daughter, my 11-year-old, who came to me and she wanted something. And I said, no, Papa doesn't have money. She goes, Papa, are we poor now?
When kids say it like it is, eh?
Are we poor? No, baby. It's called a temporary inconvenience. We are just broke for now.
Yes.
But we are going to be okay. Ooh. But my kids were brought up by very strong women. In terms of my mother was there, my sister was there, even their mothers participated in the long one. I mean, I stay with them all. But those women helped me so much in bringing up very beautiful kids who are so understanding. There's no child of mine.
Oh, yes.
There's nothing like that. If I hear, I hear you. Everything what's about Papa to again.
They will ask if you're poor.
Exactly. They will ask if you're poor.
But that's as far as it goes.
Exactly. You know, and then one day, this guy was my corona scare. And that time I wasn't had corona. And when I think about it, I'm lying in my bed, I'm watching television, but I can feel, man, something is wrong with me, you know, and I'm thinking too much and tension headaches. And have you been in a dream? Maybe it's a nightmare, where somebody's like holding you down. It happens with me. And that time I'm scared like you don't have an idea because 2 of my friends had stroke. Oh no. So I'm thinking stroke. And I'm trying to lift myself and I literally cried and called my sister because I don't know what just happened. I mean I think it happened for just a few seconds or a few minutes. But yeah, it scared the living.
In a Tswana phrase, where you feel like someone is on top of you, and you can't move even.
But then I'm not in a dream; I'm awake.
that's a weird version.
That was scary stuff. So I called my daughter, my oldest daughter, Untando, come here. Get to go to my closet there. You know, like on top there, there's a red file. That file. If anything happens,
I'm a police.
You must take it to Uncle Linda. Uncle Linda is my friend is a lawyer. He's my lawyer. Take it to him. He'll know what to do. And my daughter was like, what are you talking about, Baba? Now I'm thinking I've got corona. I've got everything. My brain is messing with me.
Wow. We don't know.
Oh.
I must tell you, we don't know the stories, eh?
My man, do you know if there's anything that was a blessing with COVID, if anything, to me it was that first month where I was able to be completely open to my children and speak to Ntando especially about the breakup with me and her mum.
How old is Ntando?
She's turning 21 on the 24th of June.
She's a big girl.
She's a big girl. You know, when kids start asking you stuff and then you have to answer. And now you know that this is an over 18 child now who needs to know the truth.
True.
I've protected them for a longest time. Right now, I think it's very unfair for me to let them know what has happened. Yeah. You know, and it gave me that opportunity to be able to share with them.
Who initiated the conversation?
I think to a large degree, I did. I did. But we were talking about something else. I mean, then it slowly found its way to there. You know, we were talking about their mother and the siblings and all that. But then I needed to be honest. And now, it was tough then, but now it's easier. Now we talk. I mean, they know people I've dated. We go like that, but Mara all about you know, my kids did the most funniest thing. I mean, this story, I think, Jesu Tlompulaya. I come home. It's during COVID. I'm dating this human being at a time. So yeah. So, and I think I had a little bit to drink, and so the lady decides, no, let me drive you, and I'll come back to the car, and I'll come back tomorrow, and get a good shot, and drive. But as a Kenya garage, man. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, I'm like a teenager in my own house. TV. You remember COVID? It was so bad because you didn't know the right times.
Oh yeah,
the clock was the other way around. We slept during the day, and I forgot that bit.
Oh no!
So I'm like, sure. And I leave. When I get to the house, I leave my phone and everything where.
You didn't think, yeah, okay, good right. Goodbye.
But there was no time to improvise.
You're caught.
I was caught
by your kids.
By my kids.
Oh, boy.
So, 10 minutes later, I come back to the lounge. Hey, guys, what's we call? Here's your phone. I get it. The next morning, out.
You're out.
And
it's funny.
And then 2 days later, I'm just checking on my phone. There's a video I don't know here. I played a video. My kids, when I went that side, they took my phone, recorded a video.
Yeah.
Papa, listen to this. We know you are single. We know you are still dating around. Don't do that. That was so awkward. Even worse for that lady. Don't do things like that. Papa, listen, when you get somebody eventually, you are going to introduce them to us.
Yes.
But now, you are making it so awkward for us. Hey, do you, boo? That was it.
Wow, man.
That was the best message I ever got. This is the permission my kids are telling me. Do it yourself, man.
Don't worry, man.
We know. You divorced again. We know.
That's so crazy.
But that was the most wonderful time. In fact, when I come to think about COVID, it's one of those.
Yes. Le jumpile.
Yeah.
Yeah, important headline.
Very important.
Yes.
Right now, we do talk about boys and girls and all that. We do talk. I mean, the other time, the other one was going on. Yes, Papa, I'm not sure. Yes, my sister, your daughter. Kind of, she's lesbian.
Listen to that.
So I go to the daughter. Hey, so your sister thinks you are lesbian. You mean, I think she is lesbian. So, but you speak about stuff like that freely.
We're lesbian.
We're lesbian. We are feeling. Hey, I'm 2000.
Wow. Yes.
I'm 2000. They have very interesting lives. Very difficult but interesting lives.
Yeah.
You know, they go through so much, these kids.
Do you know when you say they shot a video and that's what they said to you? It reminded me of a video that's not as positive as pleasant.
Yeah.
Where these kids are confronting their father.
Yeah.
About who cheated on their mom.
Wow.
And they're shooting a video of them confronting their dad about this cheating.
Yeah.
And one of them says, "Mar Papa, you fucked up." Listen to the conversation. Like, I cringed when I saw that video once and I knew I'll never watch it again. Because you can't help but place yourself in the position of this guy.
Yeah.
He's holding, I think, a plate of food.
Yeah.
He's eating. And they start unleashing. And I remember thinking, we live in a different time.
That's different times.
There's no way you would speak to your father like that.
Whoa.
Never.
Whoa.
Like a mon.
Oh, well, now. I met my father at the age of 16. You know, this is a guy that contributed so much in my life in terms of the negative in me. He's contributed so much in terms of the negative in me, you know. And I only realized it much later in life.
Yeah.
And I was not even aware of it until later in life. This is where this monster comes from sometimes, you know. This is where this comes from.
Yeah.
Talking about the father like that. So I'm at my grand's place and I get this call, Hori, your father wants to see you. I'm 60. Listen, me and my siblings, we come from different fathers. My mother said it so beautifully when we did her 60th birthday, and she had all these Christian mothers around and all that. And when she confessed that, bonke bana baba different. Ngizamile bazalwane ngizamile.
I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
May his soul rest in peace.
I wonder how did they react, Abazalwane.
It was so funny. No. Bonke. But now, Baba. Ngizamile bazalwane, ngizamile.
I love it. I love the honesty and the approach now.
Oh, I miss that woman. I miss that woman.
Yes.
So the person that I thought was my father was my younger sister's father. He died. So I thought that was my father. In fact, I grew up knowing he's my father.
You died knowing you lost a dad.
Yeah, I lost a dad, right? So me, this is age 16, and we are impressionable, a young man, and I remember
that age. That
people are
age.
dressing up and all that. And all of a sudden, I've got a dad.
New one.
Wow. Life is about to change.
You saw it turning for the better.
I promise you, because opposite my house, there's a lady that also, I think, the other street, who just met the father, and all of a sudden the guy came, and her life transformed.
You thought the same.
This is me thinking this is what's going to happen. So we make an appointment that I must come and see him on the Christmas Day. So it's going to be lunch. I grab my friend, my childhood friend, Mlungisi. We go there. As we get there, there's an old man standing at the door there. So I come, I greet Sanbona Njani. I've never said Papa to anybody, to be honest. Because
even your, the one who passed on.
The one who passed, I was young, but I was told he passed on. I don't even remember him, to be honest. You know, and I'm like, Zofuna put milk in. And this guy immediately goes, Notice, that's my
that's your
African
yes, yeah.
Notice, yeah. Hey, how do you hear me? Hey, I look at this guy. Okay.
Does he look anything like you?
No, I know more. It's more my mother's side than him.
Yes.
So he leads me at the back there. There's uncles. There's this feast. It's like everybody's kissing you, cheeks and everything.
They're happy to see you.
Woo! Yeah. And there's another one called George. In fact, I think I might look like him because he was quite a big guy. And George, I feel welcome, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. That time when I get in there, there's like 3 kumbis parked, you know?
This is for you.
Hey, Baba, I know this guy is a taxi driver. He's a taxi owner.
Oh.
That's my life right there. I'll take a Christmas setting had landed that year, Saturday. I'll take kickboxing day. Then the next Tuesday, I was working. Sure. When I leave there, I'm the most excited man. I go home and then my friend is happy for me. Like, my life is about to transform. I get to my mom and I'm telling her that, and she just keep this blank face.
Whoa.
It's amazing how mothers know how to protect you, but at the same time, they want you to find it yourself. Right? Because I didn't know what's wrong between the two of them. It was not my business.
No.
I didn't even ask.
You can't ask.
All I know, this guy is here.
And you can't ask.
I can't ask.
No.
How do I begin?
Yes.
I give you know? And my mother, she's not excited about it.
Yeah.
Right? I leave her alone. I'm thinking...
You stay with this excitement.
Yeah, I stay with this. I got a boyfriend there.
Yes.
Come Tuesday, ke fihle go tlong 11. Ke thola madam wa gage. What time? Ara o tswile man. Ya Milton, ya botsa ka nako yena. No, ke tla go tla usana.
Yes.
Sure, I know fine. The next day, ke go tla vie. Out here you. Out here, my baby is the weekend, during the week. So
and businessman.
Businessman. So ke tla go Saturday, maybe I get Saturday. As I come in, there's a beautiful couch like this, and he's lying like this. He's having his ngutu.
Yes.
I come in and I stand in the middle of the door. Number one, that's a very wrong thing, right? You can't. I'm a head.
Oh, and we're very.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, so if you take up long, all the time, this guy looks at me. He sits up
in my house.
At Windsor. How do you come to my house and stand like this? Is that how your mother brought you up? Yo, Altiaka, I lost it. Do you know, I keep saying all the time that exam ruhanga yona Nekilibisi at the time. I gave it to him. Or everything just came. In fact, you are insulting this one human being that has been holding fort for you. This one human being that has been taking care of your sperm.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm talking
no. That was the last time I saw him alive.
Whoa.
The next time I met him, I was 32. No, I was 32, 16 years later. Literally with my baby girls at his funeral. Yeah, at his funeral.
You didn't see the need to go back?
No, I didn't. But this guy, to me, what it told me about that guy, when it was a defensive mechanism for him when I was standing there, because he lied. Because he didn't have everything he had.
Yes.
This guy was just a taxi driver, right? So he never had things that they claimed he had. And the only way to be able to push that, he promised me I would shopping, there was nothing like that, right?
So he was changing the topic.
He was changing
Basically.
the topic. That's it.
Yes.
And I could see it through. I could see it. This guy dies. I'm staying in Greenstone at the time, and he stays in Linksfield next door. I didn't even know this. Whoa. He had another mama there who was a domestic worker there, living with that mama. That's where he died.
He didn't even die
Gohai or anything like that. So I took my kids to the funeral. I remember I get there to the funeral, and I'm with my kids. My mama came with me, my big brother, the support and all, and I get to meet a lot of other people that are supposedly my siblings, and I give Fitla now I'm a known face, right?
Of course.
My uncle goes, no, and that's his elder son, he must come and say something. They didn't see me coming, and they kept on calling me. I'm like, hey, well, I'm not. The tent was full of people.
Of course.
Okay, I don't know these people. What am I going to say about him?
Jeez.
Do you know, I promise you, I cried that day. And when I cried that day, I don't think it was the sadness of him passing. It was, I never knew this guy.
Yeah. There
was nothing I would say about him.
What were the tears for? Of a lost opportunity? What were you?
I think that's lost opportunity. And I think it was also anger towards him.
Okay.
I was very angry with him for the longest time, and which is why, I say this a lot to friends of mine, that resulted in messing up my relationships. But
what did you carry with you from that?
It was actual anger. The only thing I had was anger, right? I was a bulldog, I was that guy. Do you know my mother would say when sitting at the house, when I come in and they hear the car coming in, he's here. Clean on.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm that guy. I like being clean on. No. But guys, you're sitting around, but stay here. Come on. Why can't you just sit? And I was that in my relationships. I think I was a great guy to chill with, not to live with.
Oh. What did they eat?
Yeah.
What did they eat?
Not
what he...
Got a date, not only Nyalo. And when I come back to think about the Nyalo, to me, it was trying to do something that my mother and my father couldn't do for me. So marriage to me was based on that. It was about me creating this nuclear for myself because I was going to be better than my father. I was going to do better than my father. And you don't know how that messes you up, because the more you're trying to be better than your father, the more you're messing yourself up and the kids. Right? So to me, the decision I was making to prove him wrong.
That's it.
It has never been
I hope you're watching.
I hope you're watching this. I remember saying this one statement, but somebody was asking me, I think my first wife was asking me, so are you ever going to see your father? I'll probably hire him as a current boy.
Just so I can show him.
Just so I can show him, so they can see what a man is supposed to do. Sure. Right? That's how much anger. Yeah. And it translated to my siblings, to my family, to my partners.
This is you're carrying this anger, and you everywhere, everything you touch, you leave marks of your anger.
Most have. This guy that people are seeing on TV laughing and screaming and everybody's happy to see is damaged goods. Autiaka, which is something sometimes about my work that I love, but it's also I hate it at the same time. Do you know, David, I would not get out of my house if I'm not feeling good, unless it's work.
Really?
If I'm not feeling well,
Yeah.
People expect me to make them laugh. People expect this bubbly human being. The people expect this guy that is always, so which is why I always say to producers, when I charge you, I don't charge you for that 2 hours you're working with me. No. I'm charging you for the whole day, for next week.
Because you have to.
I keep working all the time.
Yeah.
So that's the joy I had.
Yeah.
But when I got home,
jeez,
it was not nice.
Yo.
So I'm this guy that is like the happiest guy that you can see out there.
But
when I get home, I'm this horrible human being to the people that I claim to love.
Awareness of anger is tricky.
Right.
Otherwise, people would say no. People would stop themselves in the moment of expressing anger.
Yeah.
Because you see that what you're doing is wrong. Are you only aware now in retrospect, looking back, or were you aware then? And this is something that I'm asking because I genuinely don't know about. Kunabantu yamnyathela ukhipha isibhamu.
Right.
Kunabantu yamnyathela yena uthi sorry. You see, there are two different people there, and you're saying you're the guy who would express their anger.
Yeah.
Were you aware of it then, or you only got aware much later when you were told, they're not right?
I think I was made aware.
Okay.
I was made aware because I was this guy, I'll fight with you right now. We'll have a very big fight and on and on and on and on. And I'll go home. There's this little place I love called my bathroom where I sit and everything makes sense.
Okay.
I'm that guy who's able to pick up the phone and say, I messed up.
That's a good one.
Right? I messed up. But the problem with that is that something else will trigger me again. Because at the time I didn't know what was triggering it. Right? So I'll do that. And people run out of patience.
Of course.
One of my nieces, and she claims it's not her, but I still think it's her, who sent me a text via some other auntie. You know what is so sad about you, uncle, is that you're going to die alone. That hit me like a ton of bricks.
Jeez.
That hit me. I could visualize it.
So that's the being told.
Yeah, that's being told. That's I could see it happening. I could see my friends walking away, my family walking away. I could see people not wanting to be part of my life. And that thought was killing me.
And you're like the happiest guy anyone can ever meet.
Yeah. Because
I can't imagine that.
You see, you can't imagine that.
Yes.
But I am a human being after all. Right? The happy guy, and which is why I'm saying I never get out of my house when I'm not feeling okay. Because I like being happy.
Yes.
I love this. And half the time it's very genuine. There are times where I act it because I can. It's a job. But I really love I love doing fun things. You send me, you'll see me go to something. Of
course.
And
you're the loudest guy in that corner.
In that corner, somebody, I promise you, I'm the only one talking.
Yeah.
You'll find me at the stadium, I'll be having fun. But if I'm not in that space, I respect myself and the people to sit in my own corner and deal with it and then go out the next time.
Have you been in a position where these things amongst friends, where even friends said, Ntwana, have you been? Has guys organized an intervention and it's called?
Ask Rapulana ZP. No, Rapulana ZP. I'll tell you about him. I think he knows the one who he knows better. We used to have this thing called fed up leaf.
Okay.
Yeah, when he's just decided, no, get sharp, they've called me before. I mean, Mlungisi, lovers, Rapulana, and talk to me and said, but what you're doing is not fair, and blah, 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 blah.
Is that you saying that?
No, that's them.
Okay.
And then I'll defend myself in the way I defend myself. And I guess by the end of the evening, it will be But you know what? You come back, because to me, I love that moment when I'm alone. That moment that makes me reflect, and calms me down, and I realize, and I'll call. I will never say I'm sorry if I'm not.
Yes.
If I do believe wholeheartedly that what I did was good for me at the time, I will never say I'm sorry.
Yes.
I will not, because that's a lie.
You can't act I'm sorry.
I can't act I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's why I cannot have people who are not loyal around me. Because to me, it's very crucial to be you. and completely you and take responsibility of whatever things that you do in life. Yeah. You've got to, I mean, people call that, it's like me when I sit with you as my friend, I'm venting about my wife and all that. I'm not expecting you to come around and say, this ish. No, you can't. I'm venting, right? Because I'm only telling you my side of the story.
That's it. You don't know.
You don't know the other side.
Yes. You find your side, a hair version is worse.
It's worse.
Than yours.
Exactly. We're partners in this thing. So you cannot be having messed up everything. I played a huge role in that. Yes. Right? So I love when I have people that are honest with me.
Yeah.
I really want people to be honest with me.
Is that what kept your relationship going with Rapulana?
It is. I mean, we fight a lot. I mean, me and Rapulana, we like cats and dogs. We really fight. Other people will think, these people, are they really friends? Because of that honesty. But if you have done me wrong, I will challenge you. And Rapulana get
the cop.
Blind. Yes. Yeah, what I when it's decided this is the point, that's it.
So TV
when it's decided, it's very hard to make him change his mind. And when I speak to his sisters and his parents, and he's just lost his father, man, may his soul rest in peace. Silas, rest, man. They will tell you, what's about Kenny? And they don't understand. No. Listen, I was able. Well, I know. I mean, whether I admit it or not, I really think that I was able to a large degree to soften him up.
Okay.
Like here. Raps is he's the guy who doesn't talk much about his things. He keeps them there. And that's it. And me, I'm the guy who talks about everything. So, and I really challenge him on those things when there are things that I know he doesn't want to talk about, and I hoy.
They say we are the sum total of the people around us.
Right.
We take language.
Yes.
We take style. We take mannerism. Yes. We take walks. The way we walk is. You found something somewhere and you liked it and you adopted it. Yeah. Maybe he's adopting the openness.
Yeah.
From you.
Yeah.
Let me share.
And I've adopted his business acumen. Okay. I've learned a lot from how to run this brand, because I'm the CEO of this brand from him. Yeah. I've learned a lot in it's okay to say no. It's okay to say I don't want that job. Even if you need the cash. Even if I need the cash, I speak to my agent, and we're in the same agent, Moonin Lee.
Okay.
My soul rest in peace, she passed as well. But we've got a wonderful Tori and Musa, and I show that the girls are really doing some great work for us there. But he was able to do that for me, to say, hey, comrade, you don't need to do this. Do you really? And when on my side, you think, thanks God.
You're for 3,000 Mario senior something.
Yeah, man. And I get out, when you used to stay in Yeovil together, I used to stay up the hill in Yeovil, Western Mansions there, and the Rapulana will be broke. And at the time, the got a check. We took the check. I don't know how to via MLA, our agent. Wrote check I think and check I think is 700 rand. If you get check you go Brandfontein, go branching your high, go stand bank at the cash. You'll split it right in the middle.
What?
I swear. You'll split right in the middle.
He doesn't have to.
No, it doesn't have to. It's just money.
Yeah.
There's the guy. And he's a cook, he's one of the best cooks in the world. Yeah. This is the guy that I'll be sitting at home watching TV, and he knows that I've been at work for some time, and they're like, man, come over, man. There's something that I want to talk to you about. Serious, it's very serious. No, I can't speak over the phone. And then I'll walk over to his house, and I get there, it's cooked.
He called you for a meal.
Called me for a meal. That's how generous in spirit he is.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that I can say that's negative about Rapulana, but I promise you, it doesn't surpass what
the positive.
The positive that is. Rapulana is very strict, very hot-headed, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
For me and him and working together, it was the bad cop, good cop.
Where did you meet?
It's funny, we met at the market. He just came back from the US because he studied in Texas. And he just came back. I think it was 97 or something like that. And I was at the Market Theatre Laboratory. That's where I was studying at the time. And he came. In fact, I was not studying. I was working there. But we used to hang out a lot at the Market Theatre. And he came over, and we hit it off very quickly. Because the next year, Isidingo started 1998.
Okay.
And I haven't done TV. I was just doing theatre at the time. And I auditioned, and he also, in fact, he didn't audition, already he had a role.
Oh, yes.
He was one of those guys, handsome guys, obviously. So he got a role like that. And I got hired for about 12 calls.
Okay.
But I stayed there for a year.
Whoa.
They kept me for a year as a call actor. This is when I had that relationship with raps. Tony Khoroge, Akin Amutoso, Jen Taylor.
It's that era, that moment.
That moment that just...
That's a magic moment.
Yeah, that's when we decided we wanted to branch out and do our own things.
That's true.
That's where our kin started doing his things.
Yes.
Myself, Jen, and Tony started wanting to do something together, but then Tony left.
Kind of what was the name of the company? Was it
Stepping Stone Pictures.
Stepping Stone
Pictures.
I remember that.
So that was the beginning
That's in the 90s.
Well, yeah, late 90s.
Late 90s.
Early 2000s, and we started doing that, and it was just the most... And then we had a lot in common. We love a good party. Right? Yeah.
Hey, look at you thinking about
and we do love girls too.
Hey, there's something else.
Something else. And we love traveling. We do. I mean, when talking about traveling, we used to have this VR6 car that he used to drive.
Yeah.
And I was not driving at the time. I was the guy in the passenger seat. I was the scrub.
You know the scrub.
Yeah, the scrub.
Yeah, well, you're such a 90s kid. You remember that word.
I do, man.
Scrub.
You remember? So we used to go to Swaziland. Yeah.
You're the guy that sits in the passenger seat.
Yeah, taxi. Exactly. So, and we will travel all over Botswana, Lesotho, Swaziland, and South Africa. We've traveled to South Africa a lot.
You were just having a good time.
We had a good time. I remember at the time there was this song that we used to enjoy so much, and we were in Botswana. It was a Whitney Houston song. Yeah. Your love is my love.
Oh yeah, I got it. Your love.
And you're singing it in Botswana, and you're like singing in Botswana, you're like chilling there, like, what's about getting? If you can die now, I'll be okay.
This is good.
He said the same thing, that if I'll die now, I'll be just fine.
Yeah.
But then again, as you'll have it, God has his own plans. I'm turning 50 this year, he's turning 56 this year. So we're still okay.
Keep you for a while.
Yeah, no, but for my kids, he better. I still want to be around. I want to be around.
For as long as it takes.
For as long as it takes. I'm not scared of death.
Yes.
But I'm also not... looking forward to it.
No.
Nah.
Interesting. They say we all owe God a death.
Yeah.
But if even the most staunch Christians who believe that they'll go to heaven, if you gave them the option of dying, they'll say, nah.
Man. I'll check out but I don't go to it doesn't have to happen now. Why? But no.
The value of friendship.
Yes.
From your experience with Rapulan, the splitting of the checks, the going around the world or the country, whatever it is, the value of friendship. What have you learned from that?
That you no man is an island. You can never survive alone. Do you know? There's something that just happened recently in my life, and I'm a big Oprah fan. And Oprah will talk about what is your purpose.
Yes.
I've never known what that means.
Ooh.
I've never understood what that means.
Yet you've heard it so many times.
I've heard it so many times until I started really looking into who are my friends. And that's a corona period as well. The people that are in my life, why are they there in my life? I mean, somebody was asking me about saying that it's your birthday, so how many people will invite? And I said, no, I have about 50 with it. I don't know, when you know so many people. No, that's not enough.
50, because 50 is a lot of people.
Exactly. It's a lot of people already. And until Corona, I realized that I actually have a lot of acquaintances.
Not friends.
And the friends that I have are the ones that have just given me the purpose. This is how I'm going to explain this to you. I'm in a Pulukwane about in November. I'm doing some promotions for DSTV. They asked me to do it. And after that, I go and chill at some place, industrial, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there with the colleagues and we're eating and all that. And this little girl with glasses who comes, and her mom, she's shy, but she's coming to me. And she goes, "Hi, my name is Kwena. What Kenneth? Oh, nice. I'm sorry, let's talk. I went to UCT and I was studying art department, the art department business and all that. And now I'm back, I'm high, and there's nothing more and all that. How bad do you want this? I really, really want it. Yeah. And I say, are we willing to pack up and leave? And she goes, yeah. Okay, just hold on. I call a friend of mine who's in art department, who's actually working on a project at that time. I'm saying to this young girl, tell her the story and all that, but I don't want you to hear it from me. There she is. Talk to her. January, she was there, she started working.
Wow.
Right? That's a friend of mine who just gave me purpose. Right? I'm chilling, minding my business in Davidton, DKNY Club. I'm sitting there with the owner, and there's a girl who comes with a tray to serve us. And I'm like, "You're so beautiful. Why only waitress?" I'm just trying to get some money, pocket money. But I'm studying. I'm going to be a lawyer. But the question right now is that I want to do my articles. And I call my friend, Linda Msikinya of Msikinya Attorneys, call him and say, "Autiaka, what are the articles? Go back, guy number, how gets back weekend, it off on like a Monday." Is that okay? I couldn't guy. Christmas party last year. I get invited to the company. We are there, she's there.
Wow.
She's did the articles. Can you imagine? Actually, I got my degree.
Wow.
And can I tell something else? On the 9th of January, I'm starting work. Uncle Linda has just hired me in his firm.
Wait a minute.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about purpose, right? So I don't need people around me that cannot benefit me to pass it on.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole point.
That's the whole point.
People are likely to always come to you.
Yeah.
And you may not necessarily have that stuff, but
Exactly.
you know someone that does.
Exactly. And I'll tell you where that comes from. It comes from a guy, Zulu guy, who comes from Newcastle. I'm doing grade 9 or grade 8, grade 9, I think at the time. And he comes to join the school where I was at Tisilo Secondary School in Soweto, White City. And he's just a funny guy. We just don't take him serious, but he's our teacher, right? But there's something about him. He had this book. It was the book that we used to read called Shashalazi. Shashalazi in Zulu means stage.
Okay.
So, and he used to make us stage this. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, how funny is this? Because Rob Brother had the same experience with the teacher. Right? And he will stage this, and this guy will make us do all this. And one day I just approached him. I said, "I can't play soccer and I can't play netball. And those are the only two things that I hear at school. Can we open a drama group where we can be able to do this every day afterwards?"
Let's
And he went,
socialize.
he says, "Beautiful." I recruit people.
Whoa.
We start doing this. We're not just doing it on Wednesday, PT day with like soccer. We're doing it every day.
After school.
After school.
Yeah.
This guy believed in me so much that he will take me to different competitions, drama competitions, like both Dialro acting national competition in Pretoria. He will spend his money, he'll give me shoes, he'll take me to all the competitions. And in those competitions, half the time I was this one black boy from
So we're to township
school, and then we'll have the Model C ones, and then so I was that, and then, that means I never got number 1. I was always number 3 or something because I couldn't get it. But anyway, and that guy just believed in me.
Jeez.
So that's what everybody wants. One person who believes in
Only
you.
one.
Only one.
Only
And that
one.
can change your life.
You
And
don't,
that's exactly what it did.
you don't need a church full of people
No.
to hear your word.
No.
You need one guy.
One guy who believes in you. So
That's,
all I want to say is that Kwena, Mikhail believed in that little girl. You know?
And
Linda
you.
Msikinya believed in that little girl. And that's what they're doing right now. And they're doing what they love.
In that moment of let me do something about it. What happens to your psychology?
Let me tell you something. Most of the time, I'm actually sipping on my whiskey. Yeah? Most of the time.
At that moment when...
That moment.
Yes.
Because to me, I've seen people approach me. I get approached a lot by young people. And that frustrates the living out of me because give me something.
Yeah.
Couldn't guys say anything.
Anything
You're not
is
telling me anything.
Oh,
You're not
yes.
I can't do that. You know, you must be a god at something. And then you can start spreading your wings and doing other things. But be a god, I'm known as an actor. Then I'm a producer later. I'm everything else later, but I am an actor. Be a god at something. You know, that's what I believe in. You know, before you're a businessman, you're a brilliant broadcaster.
Give us something you can work with.
Work with. So when I get approached by kids that are giving me something to work with, and that's it.
It makes it easy.
I tell my kids at home, I'm here, use me. Use me, I'm here.
Now, we don't know for how long.
I will be dead one day.
Yeah.
You see, guess what? Then I take them to the stadium to watch Orlando Pirates. On a Sunday, I'm thinking, let's go. And guys, you understand that you guys are going to be singing down there extra strong because me now, I'll be with the uncles upstairs. You know, Papa, we can't do that. No, but Papa, no, but you said you must use you.
we should use you to get Kubasud.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, man. So I believe so much in people who believe that, and I want to do. I'll make a foundation. You know, I've been delaying this foundation. To me, it was like this one chance foundation. You know, only one, just one person, one chance. You only get one chance from one person who believes in you. But there's been so many foundations.
Yeah.
That there's nothing that irritates me about this. I mean, a kid who just graduated now, Siyabonga Twala Foundation. I'm like, what is this all about?
And maybe you're right, and I like that you're criticizing it, and I'm glad it's you, not me. Maybe you should just keep doing this.
I just keep doing it.
Yeah, because I found myself in that situation a few times when I wasn't aware. That's why I asked you what happens to your psychology.
Yeah.
As a kid that came here to this office. Maybe almost 7-8 months ago, she brought me a gift.
Right.
To thank me for, I didn't know what at the time. And she says I took her to school. I don't remember.
Wow.
I genuinely don't remember. It's many years ago when I used to work for Metro. She came to reception at SABC. And, you know, at the time there was to be a canteen at Radio Park. And she started talking. I was sitting with Ice. We started talking and she told me her problems. And I said, look, I don't know how to help you, but just let's talk again tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
And she gave me her fees. I said, this is not too much. I can afford this.
Yeah.
And I did that and I moved on with my life.
And that's it.
Years later, she brought me a Bible and then what else? Like some a shelf-like thing. And I remember thinking, I don't even remember. That's why I said I wonder about the psychology of what happens in your mind.
But that's the thing, you don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do at the time.
At the time. Because for me, no, it didn't feel, I never thought back to it.
I wonder what happened to that child. No. I was shopping somewhere, you know, and Google came in. I met this lady with these 2 daughters and all that. She was like, hi, I'm obviously thinking fan. And all that. I'm sorry, don't. You know, it gets very difficult to remember people as well. But
and
she
you're
goes
not
like,
sure whether you know them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't like not knowing people. Then I don't, well, I am, and I can really go. Anyway, so she says to me, no, I was at Skien Primary School in Alexandra, 4th Avenue. And they used to come and teach us Ramadan. And you know, I never became an actor, but there's so much that I've learned from what you used to teach us back then. And that is those moments that make your heart warm, feel good. As much as you're just doing it because you needed to do it, you know, but which is why we have to be careful at all times the impact that we make on other people, whether positive or negative, right?
Do you feel we don't recognize the concept of contribute in your little corner? You may not know where it goes.
I don't think we're doing enough. Me paying it forward is the most important thing. You've got to be able to motivate the next human being. You know, and it goes back to that one person who believed in me. And I need to believe in someone. You know, and I remember that so much. Mr. Sfiso Zikubu, the late Sfiso Zikubu was my teacher. And the other thing, I thought maybe I could just do a foundation and name it after him. You know? Or in academy somewhere in Soweto to name it after him. I mean, that guy became my friend. This was my teacher who became my friend. I was his best man in this wedding. You know? We became close and very tight. He was family. You know, I mean, this is the guy. The story, I don't like to tell the story a lot because, especially with kids, they misunderstand where I come from with it. He is the guy that made me quit school. This is a teacher, a whole teacher. Matric, I think it was mid-year, failed dismally. But I knew why I failed. I was aware why I failed. Because I was not studying. I was not interested. I used to go to school to wait for the school to knock off so that I can do drama.
Oh, boy.
I would spend all those hours, and I knew that if I didn't go to school, I would not be able to attend because they'd be telling me,
you can't come after school.
After school, and after that, I think it was around September, and I was busy sitting in class. I was bored. Yes. I mean, some of my teachers tell me that I was actually good with like business accounting and all that. I don't remember that. I don't remember being good. I think I was just horrible. And I would sit there, and the other teachers were criticizing him. No, we cannot do this to a child.
Oh,
see,
yes.
Yeah, we can't do this to a child. This is future. And remember, before I got to high school, I was this fat chubby boy who was with a low self-esteem. So this was one thing that I could do and do better than anybody. Yeah. That made me, all of a sudden, there were people that liked me. There were girls that liked me. Hey. I was in the SRC. I was in a debating team. Do you know what I mean?
Because this little thing came out.
Yeah. So this thing, I recognized I wanted to be an actor at the age of 13. But then this guy just pushed it to another level. So I'm sitting around in September holidays, and I'm like, I'm not going back there. Hey. I'm telling my mother that I'm not. My mother would be
But this is matric.
Matric. My mother calls the school. What's going on? No, we have to find him a school that he needs. The school that he's in is not working for him.
Yeah.
We spend our time trying to find a school for me to start in January the following year.
But matric, that
was the best decision of my life.
Wow.
And what I'm trying to say is that I was never going to fail. By hook or crook, it was going to work.
Yes.
I never had anything to fall back on. It was fell back to. I needed to make this work.
Yes.
Hindsight later, when I think about matric, I think, maybe I missed the point somewhere there. There's so many opportunities that I missed.
Because
I couldn't study further. In term, and I'm looking at people like Rabla had studied. Rabla maybe didn't want to work.
Let's get.
So there's so much I'm learning from him as well, right? Yes. So there's certain things that I've learned that could have been easier and quicker if I went on to study.
Yeah.
But there's always the pros and cons. Always with
Yeah, could have. Could have. And hindsight is always something that teaches us something. But
Golata.
Yes. Yeah. So did you find another school? The school that your teacher was saying, we need to find an appropriate school for him.
So this is what used to happen during the 80s, in the late 80s and all that. There was a company called JEP, Joint Enrichment Project.
Okay.
So they used to hire some students from Wits and some other professional actors to go and teach in the townships. And I was in a place called NICRO. Okay. I was in the NICRO Youth Club. NICRO is the National Institute for Crime Prevention and Rehabilitation. Okay. So when they formed the youth club, they were forming it in their thinking was preventing its crime at its primary level before it even becomes a criminal. Yes. So they used to engage us with youth leadership training, things like acting, drama and all that, art, visual art and all that. So they used to bring these guys. There's a guy called Tale Motsepe. He used to be a student at Wits at the time, so he used to be one of the guys that used to come and teach us. Ntate Ramlao Makhene. I don't know if you remember. I know Ramlao. Yes. Ramlao taught me there, but then Sol Rachilo, they came and taught us there. And when I was looking for a school, there was Fuba.
Yes, I remember Fuba.
And I could not get a space at Fuba. And then there was Funda Center.
Okay.
I could not get a space. And I got a number. Somebody gave me a number. Try this. This is the Market Theatre Laboratory. Just give them a call and see, So I give a call. But on the other end, I know this voice. I know this voice. I'm like, who is this? This is Tali. And who are you? Mnetis. Mnetis who? Mnetis in Negro. Oh, Mnetis. And we start going, oh my word.
Why?
He's an administrator now.
Yeah.
At the school. He's now running the school.
Who's this?
This is the student who used to come and teach me in the township way back when.
So he remembers.
He remembers. I remember him. And he says to me, come on Monday. Let's talk.
Wow.
I get there on Monday and there's a lady called Irene Stefano, she's an actor. Vanessa Cook, who was the big boss, and she's an actress as well. And they said they auditioned me. And they asked, do you have a matric? I said, I don't have a matric.
That's that question.
And they said, "Nah, it's okay." Do you know I was the first student that was admitted there without a matric?
Hey.
Which is what John Connor always says. And I think that's when they changed the story, at the time, that the whole point of the school is for kids, whether they have a matric or not, who are not able to pay to go to vets or to go to UCT. This is where we are doing things for the kids. Do you know, I will forever be grateful to John Kani, Barney Simon, Vanessa Cook, and all the people that were there at the time, Robert Coleman, Dan Robertsi, people who took their time to hone this craft, to try and help me hone this craft, you know. We were the very first class that was multiracial. It was just after, just before democracy.
Yeah.
And I'm the only person who still does this from the class of 16.
What?
Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm still friends with a lot of our guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Semu Fuking is a politician in somewhere. Rosetta Zwane, they're doing other things. But they will always respect that class because the class, it teaches you about yourself. You know, theater is something amazing. It teaches you about, you get to know things about you that you didn't even know.
How does it do that?
Because you have to engage. You know, acting is about, somebody was saying that now acting is about lying, man, you're just pretending and all that. And to me, acting is about the truth.
Yeah.
You know, you go somewhere. Every character that I've played in my life, I had to find it here. Be it an abusive husband, be it a church, a minister, be it a businessman, a thug.
Yes.
You have to. We all have it in us. Murderer, you all have it in us. Yeah. You've got to reach that point, and how it's just that other people go all the way, right? I mean, for me, it's just a skill.
You know where to stop.
I know where to stop, right? Because it is about the reality. We are a mirror to society.
That's it, yes.
You know?
So in you connect with this person.
Yeah.
You get to see them.
Yes.
Up front, up close.
Yeah.
And that connection, you learning something about you.
About me. About me. You know, acting is not just about talking. Acting is about listening. Yeah. Acting is about reading. Acting is about observation. See, one thing that I always teach students when I'm working with them, we're in the study of human behavior.
Yeah, that's
You've
true.
got to be observant at all times.
Because you can't portray a character you don't know.
No,
in your head.
In your head, no.
Yeah, you have to have a reference.
You have to. You know, you've got to. And it helps you build that character.
That's
right?
true.
Which is what we do is that you get a script, and the script is like you're playing Mr. Zwane. Mr. Zwane, we start in the middle of his life, right? He's a 45-year-old businessman. We don't know what happened to Mr. Zwane. So it's a duty as an actor to find out where he was born, how he was as a child, growing up as a teenager.
To create him.
You create him. And that informs that Mr. Zwane that you first meet. And that no one knows about. Okay?
Jeez.
It's about you knowing. You'll never see it on screen. That. It's about you building this. By the time you see Mr. Zwane is believable.
Because you cannot make Mr. Zwane believable if you know only one day of his life.
Of course. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You've got to know everything, whatever decisions that he makes are based on where he comes from. Yeah. Which is why I always say that you don't judge characters. You know, I mean, there are actors who will tell you that there are certain characters or roles that they'll never take. You know, people like Denzel, people like Prajon. I mean, they're big brands. True. You understand? They will never play a certain role of a murderer or anything or abusive man, because that's not the picture they want to paint in the society.
That's true.
You know, because that the brand tells them to do that. Yeah. But I'm that actor that just want to do anything that I can. I'm that actor that wants to. I'm not that guy. And I'm not going to judge that guy. If that guy's a drug addict, and I'm not judging him, there's something that got him there. He's only human.
Yeah, that's true. A murderer, there's something that got him there.
There's something that got him there, you know? Yeah. And he was not born a murderer.
No.
And to me, that investigation, that research is the most fascinating thing. To get him to a point where he say, I'm going to slit your throat right now.
What happened to this guy?
What happened to this guy?
Jeez.
To me, that's what fascinates me about acting. Yeah. You know, which is why I love doing movies more, because movies we get that time to work that. I mean, when I'm doing soapies or Mochila novella, which I'm doing right now, it's like You got to make time. Come on, let's go. Satisfactory, you know.
That's true.
So, but with movies, you get time to like really dwell on the character and really get to know that person and live with them. The only thing I don't take my characters home. I leave them on set.
You leave them there.
I leave them on set. I'll pick them up in the morning when I work. I don't. It will mess you up.
How do you put them on? What is it? Is there a process?
Yeah, different actors do it differently. I mean, there are actors that really, will stand in a corner there, and then you know that you can't talk to them.
Give them time.
Give them time. I've learned this character. I know this character. I don't need a corner.
No.
I switch to him as soon as I get to work. Yes. I've put enough work for me to know that if I want to jump into his shoes, it's automatic.
I got this.
I think that's what's important.
Yeah.
So, and the people will see me, like yesterday we were shooting a scene in any funeral and people are crying and you cry and you cry, and Clementine Musimane, one of my best, incredible actress. Yeah. And she's playing the mother who lost the son, and she goes for it. And the director, Thomas Gumede, is a director, and he just keeps it going for such a long time. I'm like, to a point where other people around her start crying, right? Ooh. And it's like, what is goosebump moments? And then they say, cut. He goes, yo! Hey!
Who's
Clementine.
That? That's Clementine.
And people go, oh.
Bokala. Siyakhala manje because of you.
And now there's extras, background artists, but how do you do it? You earn your stripes. You put the work behind that. Yeah. You see, when you see Messi doing what he does, you see Cristiano Ronaldo does what he does, bend it like Beckham, and you hear the stories how it makes it look easy.
How many hours they put in?
They put the hours.
Yeah.
So that you can be able to go like, I can't do this again.
I hope that's the take.
Exactly. I hope that's the one. I'm not doing it again.
I'm not crying like that again.
Because it's our job. It's our career.
Do you know something interesting? I've done radio for almost 23 years now.
Yeah.
I could have the worst day in the world.
Yeah.
Even when I sit down in the studio, the worst day in the world, I put on headphones.
Yeah.
I switch on the microphone.
Mm-hmm. It's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yesterday I was dealing with a snake.
A snake?
A little snake.
Yeah.
I get a call from the gardener. He says, hey, there's a snake in the yard.
Hey.
It's in the gate motto.
Yeah.
And I'm getting this as I'm driving to SABC. And then he does not... Okay, I say, okay, sharp. Let me call snake catchers.
Yeah.
I look for snake catchers close to the house.
Yeah.
And I find some.
Yeah.
I call these guys. I said, hey, it's cool. We'll go there.
Yeah.
But send us a location.
Right.
I have to call him.
Yes.
For WhatsApp location.
Yeah.
He's not picking up.
Yo.
I'm now scared.
Yo.
That the
snake
bit him. I'm terrified. I called him 100 times.
Wow.
I got to SABC. I park. I walk in.
Whoa.
I'm still calling this guy. He's not picking up. I sit down. Then I call the security guys. Hey, I'm going to check it out. I'm scared. And I remember I walk into the studio. Lady, I tell Lady, my producer, that this is what I'm dealing with. I have to do my first link. And I'm scared. I have to do my first link.
Wow.
Are you sure? Why don't you just play a song? I said, no, I have a live read.
Yeah.
I have an outsurance live read that I have to read. Yeah. I don't have a choice. I can't skip it and tell them I'm dealing with a snake. They don't care. They're a client. They want their live read read. Then what are you going to do? God, don't worry. Wait. Yeah. I put on my headphones. The song is playing. I switched on the microphone. Life is normal.
Yeah.
And then I switched it off and I called this guy. I'm looking for the snake. And I remember thinking, wow, man, this is acting.
Yeah, it is.
And
you've got to do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Gotta do what I gotta do. You know, one of the things that I don't like doing is like, I don't like keeping my phone on set. I try not to keep my phone on set, unless I've got enough time, because there's a lot of stuff that can come through. I mean, I remember my daughter was a month old, and Ando, the first one, and we were living somewhere in Kew, and I was performing at the Windybrow Theatre. And I think 30 minutes before the show, we do the warm-ups and all that, and then we get a 15 minutes call, 10 and 5. Yes. At 10, I get this call, and it's the mother. Goes like, yo, I don't know what's happening. She's overheating, whatever, fever, whatever. It's like, you've got a medical aid, you've got a car, please take it to the hospital now, whatever. I've got to perform. One of the most difficult performances. Yeah, I had to do it because now I'm thinking. I promise you, as much as the character comes in and out, I'm like Kenneth. The father kicks in, and then after the show, you know when you take a kitchen call and you want to do, and these guys are just going slow. And they come on, guys, let's do this, and then they go standing ovation. No, we must go back. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Go back to the phone.
I have to call.
Joe, what's happening? No, she's okay. She's not fun. Yo.
You don't know what you put me through.
So I just had to tell everybody, not before the show, not when I'm on set. Wait for me to rap before you tell me anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how important it is. Because right now, I wouldn't have answered the call anyway.
Exactly. Just do not.
It's expensive, difficult lesson to learn. But you've learned that lesson.
I had to learn that lesson. You know, I mean, I was telling you a story earlier about the Fergusons, right? When
you had a funeral in your life.
I lost my brother, and I only told raps, and then I went on to shoot because we needed to finish. I needed to finish because I had other things to do.
Right? Family funeral
stuff. Yeah. So and I finished, and I'm filming, and then I have to rush home. I get home. There's this bouquet of flowers, you know, and I'm like, wonder who?
Okay.
The Ferguson film company. They've just sent me a bouquet of flowers because they know about this. I get a call later.
You didn't tell them?
I didn't tell them, but Draplana did, I think. Then I get a call from Sean. I go like, I'm sorry, my brother, man, and thank you for going today. We know it's just difficult, blah, 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 blah. Sharp. As it drops the phone, 2 minutes later, dude, it's 10 grand. Wow. With a message says, man, sure. That was the most wonderful thing that I've ever seen.
Yeah,
it never happens to a lot of productions. No. To me, that's a black production.
That's it. Yeah, because it recognizes black problems and black issues.
Black issues.
We can't say sympathy.
Yeah, no.
Condolences. And then you walk off.
You know, but their grandmothers were coming for the whole week, coming in and out.
And you didn't tell them, probably because you didn't want to inconvenience.
No, I didn't because I needed to finish shooting. I didn't want them to feel like now he has to go and all that. No. I didn't.
Yeah, because your absence would have affected the production.
The production, right? Which is why I always say when these young kids come to this industry and they are so disrespectful with the industry, I'm like, you don't have an idea of how many people get to produce this. You know, this. You know,
I was about to ask you what type of disrespect do you see?
You have an idea.
There's that problem?
There is. You know, in a few productions I've been, and like there are 31 to 30, 40 people that are waiting
for this
on you. Respect people's time, right? Because at the end of the day, you are just only a part of this whole chain, right? Unless you feel it's important because you are in front of the camera.
You think you're the most important.
I always say, I've worked with people that I've worked with from God knows when, because I do not mess up with people.
Yeah.
You see this young boy that's manning these cameras. It's very important to me.
Yes.
He might be my DOP at some point.
That's true.
Later in life.
And he'll remember.
How you treated him.
Yes.
So it's crucial how you deal with people. Baba, and people know me. Me, I'll give it to you straight.
If you're biased.
I'll give it to you straight. And it has nothing to do with hatred whatsoever. I'll still work with you. But at that time, I'm upset and I'll let you know about it. Okay? Then move on. Let's work. Or we'll have a beer later.
Yeah.
And we'll deal with it.
But work is work.
Work is work. Span.
I want to go back to the theater time.
Yeah.
The lessons. This boy now gets introduced. No education.
Yeah.
Not even matric.
Not even matric. No.
And they say, no, you can come in. Do you remember, because you speak of the people.
Yeah.
What exactly was that? This thing that you were about to embark on? Was it a school? Was it what exactly was it? Was it meant to begin and end? Like varsity, it begins and ends.
It had to begin and end. You know, it was a serious 2-year course, acting in theater.
And I'm taught
by the industry professionals. who've been doing this, which was the huge advantage for some of us who got to experience that. Because I was not just being taught how to act, I was being taught the business.
Yes.
I was being taught the discipline of the business. So, I remember when I graduated there, I worked 5 years straight. And I was hired by the same people that were teaching me, who I later started hiring as well.
Imagine that.
You know, because I really wanted it that bad. It needed to work, and it became difficult because then I could not pay fees. You know, and I went to them in the office and I said, guys, I can't pay fees. And I think that time it was 5 rand from Rockville Soweto to Newtown Market Theatre. So I just needed 250. Then give a sharp. So 25 rand will cover me the whole
week. Kaulo, you figure it out.
We ate. You know, because we came from similar backgrounds. And then I go to the office and I'm saying to Vanessa, I'm sorry, but I might not attend anymore because I cannot tell it. But I've got a suggestion. What was the suggestion? I can see your dustbins here. They are filled up every Tuesday. I can take them out. Get it later for 25 rand. But I can't pay the fees.
No.
They said, we'll deal with the fees. Do the dustbin, come to school.
Yes. And that was it. So they agreed to the dustbin deal.
Yes. I was doing the dustbin. Tuesdays was my dustbin day, man. Do my thing, get my 25 rand, I knew I'll come to school. That's all I wanted to do. When I was hungry, that what used to fill me up. Just being there. Yeah. Just being there used to really fill me up.
Were there productions during the lessons?
Yeah.
Like where you are now put on stage?
Yeah. We did a few, and obviously we had to do a lot of stuff that was produced by the Market Theatre. It was Albert's, Sisoban's Dead, The Island, and all that. You're talking about real good, strong work.
Yes.
You know, and you'll be, the teachers will come in and check you out, and Bob Prajon will come on open days and stuff like that. They'll invite agencies to come. I think my agent came in my open day, but I don't think she liked me. She didn't like me.
Really?
No, she didn't like me. You see, how I got to Munin, people don't believe how it happened. Like I'm saying that I worked throughout the 5 years. But then I realized I needed to do this TV thing, right? I loved theater, but I needed to do this TV thing. But with the TV thing, I will need representation.
Yes.
So what I started doing was invite Munin to every show that I did, whether it's being at the Joburg Theatre, which was the Civic Theatre at the time, or Market Theatre. And I just got a hold of her phone, and she was just not coming.
No! Did she know you, as in seen you before?
I think she must have seen me, but I'm thinking I was one of the young actors, there.
He won't go far.
I don't think she saw any talent.
Amazing.
And this one time, I think, this is gonna happen now. She was not picking up. I called her. She called like, you really are bothering me. I'm sending somebody to see you. Guess which play? I'm doing a children's theatre play.
Oh.
As if not the play I wanted to see.
Yes, you wanted to see you. It was Albert.
Bafita, and she sent this lady called Sarah who was working for her at the time. And Sarah came after the show, dressing room. Hey, man, I'm going to arrange a meeting with you and Moon. I think Moon would like to see you.
So at least she liked something.
She was not even Munin herself.
That's what I mean.
She liked me.
Yes.
Then I have a meeting with Munin.
Maybe it's good that Munin didn't come.
Yeah, because the best thing that Munin didn't come. But to me, again, what it taught me that I wanted the agent to want me. I wanted somebody to know what they're selling.
Yes.
If I'm just coming to join you, you don't even know about me. But if you have seen me doing stuff, you've seen me, then you know what you are selling out there. You know? So I go to Munin. Munin has this office, and she had this huge chair, table there, and you sit right there.
You're at the bottom.
At the bottom.
She was like on stage.
Yeah, she was on stage. and she had a cigar. A big girl. Munin goes like, all right. From Soweto, medical aid your mama. I had a good tooth here. I'm going to, first things first, remove that.
Oh, the gold tooth, yeah.
Remove that. It's not going to work for
it's
you.
It's stuck there. We
can't work with this. Remove it. I'm like, okay. And she says to me, all right, I'll give you probation for 3 months. In 3 months, if you don't get anything, will have to say goodbye. I don't know where I gathered this strength. This woman was so scary. I don't know how I gathered this strength.
And she's sitting on top.
And I said, I think it's a good deal. I'm giving you 3 months to get me a job. If not, then
you're out.
That's how our friendship started. That's how it started. That's how our friendship started.
I like that. Eh?
We had meetings every year in March where we'll have nice steak or ram steak and some Japanese whiskey. I used to hate it, but I used to pretend as if I loved it whenever I used to hate it. But you're like, Kenneth, I've got your favorite Japanese whiskey. I'm like,
It was her favorite.
Yeah,
it was her favorite.
It was her favorite. And we used to enjoy it. May soul rest in peace. I mean, this is the one agent, that is one woman that we used to fight for her people. This is the woman that I'll call if I'm in Cape Town, I'm doing a production right now, and I'm treated badly. You'll give them a call and say, send my actor back now.
What?
She was that, woman, and many people knew her. I mean, and we'll respect her. I got to do my first movie, which is what people don't understand and don't know. I've done a lot of movies, but people think that I've done loads of movies from way back. Do you know my first movie I did?
What was it?
Was 2004. That was my first movie.
That's we should know that. Let me guess. I'm going to get it wrong.
Yes, guess. 2004.
No. That came after.
2004.
The tiny role you played in Nkosi. That's the first movie.
Susie.
That's the first movie.
First movie ever.
Because that's a tiny you clever. What's your name there?
Up or something.
Yes, some weird. Because they don't really use it.
Yeah.
It
was Arthur Fugate play. He wrote, so that was the character.
Converted it into that.
And she called me that role, right? And I remember because initially. Presley Swenyai was not supposed to be Tsotsi.
Okay.
Initially, the actual Tsotsi was supposed to be Zola 7.
Yes, because he's also in that scene with you guys.
Yeah. So he was supposed to be the main character.
Okay.
But I think the producers wanted somebody younger. So it was going to work, according to them, it was going to work well with me if Zola was the character.
Okay.
But then it decided otherwise. But Munin wanted me there. She said we had to convince the producers and
to find something
to say, you know what? Yes, he is older than these guys, but he's slow.
Yes, because they do make fun of him.
Exactly.
Yes,
he's a slow guy.
Yeah,
he's older than them, but he's
bigger,
slow.
bigger,
but he's slow. And that's how we made it work. Wow. And the director came, and I had so much dialogue on that. The guy will say, Kevin Hood came to me and said, Kenneth, I'm going to do something. I know you like talking, right? And please talk as much as you like when you're off camera. But when you're on my screen, all I want you to do is, it's good. That's all you say. It's good. I'm like, I don't understand this guy.
Is that my role?
Prepare it. No. That was the most challenging thing for me to do.
What?
Do you know how challenging it is not to say much as an actor? It's about reacting to things and all that. But it was a beautiful lesson to learn about listening. You don't have to be the center.
No.
You don't need to be. You can be quiet in a room sometimes.
And others are center. In this moment.
And still you're part of that.
Yeah.
A collaboration, that.
Because I remember your character. That's the thing about it, is because there's a scene at the shop.
Yes.
Where you gathered. That's the part where Barikimang Zola spells out decency. Yes, exactly. Yes. That scene.
It's like in a shipping somewhere.
Exactly.
And they're playing dice and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because that scene, you are relatively quiet.
Yeah.
But there's something about your silence that is memorable.
Yeah.
Because I remember your character there.
And that's what it is.
Wow. How was your first movie?
That was my very first movie, and people don't believe me when I say that. And I've done over 20 now, but people think
you've been at it.
I've been at it.
And thanks to your agent.
Thanks to Muneen. Thanks to the Market Theatre Laboratory. Thanks to a whole lot of people that got me to be where I am right now.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's not a lie when they say that. Ronaldo or you made me. No, I made myself. There's a lot of people that had to contribute towards your success.
There's something you said that stands out, and I can't ignore it. Where you said to Monin that I'm giving you 3 months.
Yeah.
you know why that stands out for me? The confidence for this kid with no matric, who's just wet behind his ears, really, because he was just at the theater now. What gave you the confidence to think that you were worth something?
I was working 5 years in a row. I knew I'm an asset. I knew I can be used. I knew that, and I actually even reminded her later about coming to the opening day, and she didn't remember me. She didn't remember me. So I knew, like I said, my self-confidence was built by this industry. My first, it was built by the acting. From that standard 6, what we call it, grade 8 now.
That kid.
Yeah, that kid.
That had no confidence.
And the traveling. The traveling. I mean, with theatre, that was the blessing. I mean, I've been to a lot of countries, both in Africa and in Europe and all that, because of this business. And that is what I wish for my kids. Just, I'm like, get out of there. Get out of there. Go see things out there. I promise you that will change your mind. I mean, you go to Dar es Salaam right now. I mean, I listen to people all the time, and I think it has become our language, because I heard you saying that earlier. This country. You know, I was coming here, there was some petrol spillage and somewhere
on the highway.
So I had to go through.
Oh, you used I'm a shortcut
now. The robots are off and all that. And okay, this country. But you know, I was in Dar es Salaam for 10 days. I would live in South Africa any day. There's so much more that we have. There's so much more we are not grateful for. And this is not me saying that we should be challenged. We should be quiet.
We should accept things.
No, we can't just accept things. We've got to be able to challenge. But hey, we are so blessed in ways you don't have an idea.
That's true.
You know, when you travel, then you start seeing things.
That it's actually, the neighbors are worse. The neighbors are worse.
It humbles you.
I went to Pemba, an island in Mozambique. That was what? Maybe 10 years ago.
Right.
We were there for about 5 days. We traveled as a gang of us from SABC with clients to do presentations there. My presentation was one of the most important for that session. I couldn't do it because they had load shedding every 4 hours.
Wow.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
Lights just switch off. Unlike us, we can check our apps.
Exactly, and see when can I expect it.
They just switch off and move on.
And it's still, I'm not saying let's be quiet.
Yes, it doesn't mean quiet. It's okay.
Which is what I love about South Africa. I mean, our democracy is so loud. People are opinionated. People say what they have to say.
That's true.
I promise you. You know, my daughter, last year, when was it, local elections?
Yes, about a year.
I was very skeptical about going to the elections. I was sitting at my house, I don't want to waste my time. I'm so tired. This is so exhausting. You know, and I'm voting in an area where I know DA is going to win anyway, because that's where they live. But I thought about 6:05, I'm like, nah. I remember the words of Desmond Tutu in my head. If you don't make a cross, don't be cross. Desmond Tutu, I was like, let me go do this, man.
Let me go make a cross.
I went to make a cross. And I come back, it's fine, it's all good. 2 days later, load shedding. My youngest daughter, 11, one Chacharakhwan, go like, you say, you voted for them again, and they're still
blaming you now.
That's an 11-year-old who is interested in politics, who's interested in what is happening. That's what South Africa is. And that is amazing. That should be good.
We should carry on.
We should carry on. I mean, I was invited to the inauguration of the president the other time. So we have to go and get our accreditation somewhere in Pretoria. And I meet Gadi, EFF guy. And their spokesperson, the boy with I forget his name. So we are having a conversation, we are talking, and it goes like this, boy, but Mackenzie, I'm not looking for you. We're not relevant to me. I want your child.
Yes.
That's who I'm looking for. When shy nostalgia.
When
tear gas. Your problem. Your child doesn't know tear gas.
Not at all.
That's who I want. And I'm like to my kids, be whoever you want to be, but at least be interested. Do not be interested. And the sauna or something, watch.
You must watch this.
You must watch.
And I think for me, because I'm concerned also about this, those that are just turned the voting age.
Yes.
Between that and maybe 25, almost 30.
Yeah.
There's that,
I don't care.
these old topies, they're going to mess it up anyway. There's that.
Yeah.
It concerns me.
Yeah.
Where I get a chance, I say, matota. I see it. Be a part of this. And I think with the statement you made, be interested. I don't think it's being interested in politics.
Yes.
It's being interested in your country.
Politics is your life.
That's it.
Everything you do, going to the toilet is political.
Politics.
Everything is politics.
Because you have to flush.
You've got to flush. You need water. Yeah. You've got to study. You need electricity. Mm-hmm. Every part of your life, it is politics. Yes. You've got to be interested in that. Yeah. Otherwise, where are we heading? I'm not saying vote ANC.
No.
I'll probably vote them forever and I'll die with them. It's okay.
In
fact, umuntu ofevi pirates mshoy ANC. Mina ngicela ukufevi pirates.
Umuntu ofevi chiefs, i-ANC. Angakuthatha ipain engaka for so long and you're still holding on.
Raps, I was not here.
I'm not saying
I was just not
I'm
here.
not saying he signed out CTA for the record. Don't quote me. I'm not saying that. Because the government's at TA now, you know,
they only caught the Western Cape.
Ulo, I like Banyazal Sufi says, you think TA is not corrupt? Yeah. Check the current Auditor General report in Joburg.
Yeah.
Go check that. And then let's talk.
Yeah.
There's money that's lost.
People can only talk about why they're doing well.
Exactly.
When they're doing well. I mean, they're quoting right now with the question time with the president. Quoting every place.
Yeah, yes.
Batswane.
And
Joburg. Where the mess is happening, you know. What I would like people to understand, Mina with my kids, I was saying to this. Gary, politics, I just can't trust politicians, number one.
Yes.
Bonke, bayafana.
Yeah.
You know, whether you are in this country or in the US or you're in England and all that, whether the most important thing for yourself is to make sure that your interests are being taken care of.
That's it.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
That's what politics is about.
And
if you get Mashabela, if he's the one that has promised me this and he gives it to me, that's what is important.
That's
what it's about.
There's a political analyst, Kolani, I forget his name, Dube.
Yeah.
He says you're going to be governed.
Yeah.
Someone is going to
govern you. Yeah. And that is so true.
So know that first. So move from that position of knowing that someone is going to govern you. And now ask yourself if you want to be part of the determination of who governs me.
Exactly.
You'd rather have somebody govern you that at least have some of your interests. Or you can say, Ndot, you said this.
Yeah.
And now you're doing this.
Yeah.
Ontwana Soweto through and through.
Yeah.
Tell me your Soweto street neighborhood.
Yeah, I come from Rockville. Soweto, go Zulu section. That's how it was divided. When I Zulu section, go Zulu section, Giba, Nabali, affluent Nyana, little children, light skin.
Really?
On the top. Yeah, go to the top. And then Zulu section, you're about rollers.
You're from Zulu section.
I'm from Zulu section. Yeah. I was brought up in a nice, beautiful foreign house, like a whole lot of us in that's the street, you know.
In the house were there lots of people?
Yeah. I mean, we grew up in our grandmother's house, right? So my grandmother had kids, about 6 kids. So eventually we were all going to be sleeping all over the place. You know, like when I tell my kids today, what's making this thing of you coming from to school and sleeping? It doesn't work. We never slept. But because you didn't have your own bedroom. That's why. Like,
there's nowhere to sleep.
There's nowhere to sleep because I have to sleep under the kitchen.
So that's what you did?
Yeah, that's what you did, man. But and went to Jabovu Community School and went to Henley Higher Primary School. You know, people ask me this question, you know, when I tell them that I really, really come from the humble beginnings, you know, it was like really, really humble beginnings. I don't want to call it poor because poor to me means no roof, no food. And we had roof, we had food. It's just that we could not afford other things, you know, and that's where I come from, that background. And they'll ask you people, how was that? Especially white people. And they'll talk about that and like in the apparatus, how was it? I don't know. That's the only life I knew.
I don't know any better.
I didn't know any better. To me, it was perfect.
Yes.
We used to go out and play in the streets, and have the best times. Apollo Casey, we had fun. I only realized certain things later in my life. That's how they live on the other side. So I had a beautiful upbringing, Mina, and we were at the time, where I miss those times a lot, where we were. Every child was brought up by a community.
Yeah.
We knew that there are certain things that we cannot do. Bob Maduna will come and, and we could not. Do you know Penel Maduna? Penel Maduna comes from 2 houses away from our home.
Okay.
So when he was being
Maduna, you're talking about?
No, I'm not talking about him, Penel. I'm talking about the brother.
Yes.
Because he went to exile and he went to jail and exile. Yes. So Penel comes from there, and we were brought up by. There was nothing that you see right now with these kids just hugging and just kissing and smooshing in the middle of nowhere. There's another one I was like, hey, you can't be just
doing this.
But it was I'm like, there's this thing that you want to take this child and say, but shy.
Yes.
Baba my lawyer. Child abuse.
Yo.
So now you're like, I've looked touch my
No. You can't even say anything.
Hey, but that's unfortunate because our kids are missing out on so much.
Yeah.
Our kids are here.
Because you don't only learn from your immediate household.
No.
You learn from the rest of the community. The statement a child is not raised by only their parents.
Yes, exactly.
It's raised by everybody else.
Hey, Baba, you will go there and you come home, why Wednesday. Back food, it's not like right now you get a situation where a child is messed up at school. That's my child. And the teachers who are supposed to be living with this child, they're actually scared of disciplining the same child.
Yeah.
Because they know the mother is going to come.
And then fight. So you reminisce of a poor, and I use the word deliberately because you said you don't want to use that word.
Yeah.
But a space that still worked and manufactured this personality.
Yeah.
Where do you get because you speak of a default character, the angry boy.
Yeah.
And you said where you got that.
Yeah.
Where do you get the happy guy?
I think it's home again. Do you know, when my grandmother was still alive, my aunts and my moms were not even staying there. They were all over the place. But there was this thing about the gatherings that we always had on Fridays.
Yeah.
On Fridays, and this chicken licking bot or whatever, Kentucky.
It was Kentucky at the time.
It was Kentucky, yes. And my grandmother would have been back from Mabelungbake, and usually she'd bring the sandwiches. I'm sure these are leftovers from the white people. Yes. Yeah, those ones.
Yes, triangle.
Yes. And it was a feast at all times,
yes.
And we will sing. There will be so much joy. There will be warmth. In the middle of winter, there will be just welcome to over baby. Stuff samalak. And you can see there's something boiling.
It makes the whole house warm.
That I remember so much.
And fondly.
Yeah. I remember that so much, and I might get out of the house as a boy with the pants torn. Mara, that home really filled me. As much as we were disciplined, she was a disciplinarian, and I mean, we used to buy my tomato boxes. The box the
wooden box.
Yes. That's how we used to be disciplined. My grandmother used to call it a bagaza. That's how we were spanked with that bagaza.
I hope not.
No, the nails were gone.
Staples
were gone. Don't worry about that. She was not that rough. But it used to land very nice on the palm, Like it was like a pow. Yeah. Gimbaba. So, and we... church, I mean, we'll have people coming to my house was like traffic. There was always somebody all the time coming in and out. And because my grandmother was that generous.
And you say your grandma was into business.
Yeah. I mean to keep the home fires burning, it was not just a salary from because so Lamatama that you used to buy, you used to sell them. And Amatambo then she would just sell them.
Yes.
She was, and me and my cousin at the time we were her favorites because we were the one who were running the business with her. way, right?
And you were good partners.
We're very good partners.
Yes.
And there'll be a time at home where cabbage, cabbage, and you know how many people will tell you about mukopu and cabbage, or you'll do cabbage and it will be done in different style the whole
So
week. We did. So we got to a point where we devised a plan with I reached learning.
Yeah, not today.
So now we say things like young gulis. So my grandmother knew that we were tired of it. But my grandmother would not say no.
God.
She'll go, you'll have eggs. She'll give us something else to eat. And when everybody else is eating that cabbage in the house, me and him are eating something different at all times. Because we're working for the business, man. We're working for the business.
Wow.
She passed 84, yeah?
Jeez.
Must have been like 13 and
No, yes, you were still a little boy.
I was still a little boy.
But geez, you remember her like she passed now?
No. My grandmother was everything to me. She was.
Yeah.
I mean, I love my mother to bits. I mean, my mother and I, a relationship started working, or maybe we started creating a relationship after that. And because then after that I became close to my...
after that, after your grandma
After my grandma.
passed, yes.
In fact, after my grandma passed, I then became closer to my aunt, who was the youngest of the family.
Okay.
You know, my aunt were like really, really cool. And she also passed, right?
Oh.
So my mother then and I, which was a very difficult relationship, I'll tell you why. Because I was not really used to her. To me, for her, she was just a disciplinarian.
Oh.
You know?
Ipoisali. Yeah.
You know, but slowly, as I got older, there's something that I was missing. And that was affection.
Yeah.
That thing when it's bad.
Did she change or from Ipoisa to something else?
No, she did. Completely transformed.
Yeah.
My mother died a happy human being, and I was happy with her.
Yeah.
Do you know that thing I was telling you about when I came back from my father and a disappointment?
Yes.
And then when she said to me, when I came to her and told her,
you said that.
yeah, and my mother says, I know. I just didn't want to tell you and disappoint you. And that was it.
I wanted you to go find out for yourself.
For yourself, you know? And then I started learning how to hug, how to kiss. Things that, you know, as techies, we didn't really do much. You know, which is why I made it a project in my house. I made it a big project in my house. My house, you don't go out without a kiss or a hug.
Wow.
We don't. From my first wife, and I learned it from Mlungis's grandmother and grandfather. They were my principal. They were educated when I get cast late. And they used to do that. I used to find this amazing, man.
Okay, you know,
but they taught that, and I kept on teaching that to my kids and even my partners.
Because you had to teach it to yourself.
I had to teach it to myself. Right now, you know, I had friends of mine coming over to my house, and they were like, we don't understand you and how this thing works, you know.
What are they talking about?
So my first wife comes
to
my house, and she's with her 4 kids, and two other kids, and some guy who's driving them. So then I'm assuming boyfriend, whatever.
Okay.
Come to my house, and in my house at the time there's my girlfriend who's got my child.
Yeah.
Right, and then enters my second wife, who's coming to pick up her child. Okay. So when everything is happening, it's like, mwah, mwah, and like, how does this work? It is confusing. It is confusing
for anyone watching.
For anyone watching, but we got it. We're cool
because this is your thing.
Because I was very, very angry after we divorced the first time with my wife. For the longest time, I just didn't like that human being. Yeah. And I had to shrink myself. I needed to do something.
Yes.
To get myself to a point of realization that she's going nowhere. She's my relative forever.
Because of the kids.
Because of the kids.
Yeah.
She's going to be my relative forever.
Oh, so you had to almost stop yourself from being angry at
Exactly.
her.
I had to. Right? Second marriage, same thing, but maybe just a little different. But I needed that to know I have the best relationship with them now than I had when we were together.
That's incredible.
You know, they can chill together. I mean, I'm not saying they're best friends.
Yeah.
But if they had to be in the same space, it's okay. You know, I had to teach the girlfriend that I had a child with, because this is how it works. Don't worry.
Everything is fine.
It was like this. We hug, we kiss.
Because you can't, now you'll end up fighting for high rise. Who's higher than who?
You cannot do that. Don't even begin. You're all
going to get kisses.
I'm the captain here. I'm the one who's going to make this work. And I had to do it for my kids.
Jeez.
So that my kids are able to go and stay over at that mom's house, all of them, or that mom's house, all of them, and it's all cool.
What is the setup? First wife, I've
got 2 children with her.
Okay,
that's Ndando and Lungile. You know, that 21,
soon
to be 21.
The older girls.
The other girls. And then I've got this one from my second marriage, the 11-year-old soon to be 12 right now. Yes. And then I've got this one from my girlfriend, because then we're not married, who's also turning 1 very soon, right?
Okay.
So that's the setup. Yeah.
And it has to work.
It has to work.
Because if it doesn't, now we're Zohlani.
To me, they go and take the baby, and they'll be going to the first wife who's got 2 other kids.
Oh yes, of her own.
Yes. And they chill like they're all sisters.
So you managed to, whether you did it or it happened all on its own, to make it into a stokvel.
I had to make it work. I had to make it work.
Wow.
I had to make it work.
Was it tricky?
It wasn't. It was tricky at the beginning, right? But I when you force things, they never happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes you introduce things and just let them
happen on their own.
On their own. You must remember that the first person who called me dad was not even my own child.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Who was that?
My first wife, when she came with a 2-year-old boy called Simpiwe.
Yeah.
Our experience being a dad first by him. He's a 26-year-old man right now, right? And we had a beautiful relationship until we obviously did the breakup. Then he moved back to Cape Town, and then he came back and stayed with me. I mean, he just left last year, really.
So the relationship is still solid.
It's there. Yeah. It has to be there. I mean, we fight a lot because now he's older and I think a little irresponsible sometimes. But we, he can do his thing. He can handle this thing, but not in my house.
Okay.
He can find him cuckoo somewhere. Then you can do everything that you want. I'm that disciplinarian. I'm that. I never smoked or drank in front of my mom all my life. So why would I do that? No, it's not going to happen.
You can't allow it.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think I turned up badly. I mean,
no.
With my upbringing, the way I took a beautiful few things from the upbringing, and I'm using them now. And those that don't work, I kick them out because obviously generations change, and there are certain things that you cannot use.
You've never had but you're not my father.
No.
Fortunately, no.
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 Yeah. Because we were very clear from the beginning. And I made it very clear to him that your father is Bongani from Cape Town. I'm your dad.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So he was able from the very to differentiate. So when somebody goes like, is this your father? Yeah. No, it's my dad. Yeah. And right now when he came back, now he's just older, and now I'm pops. You know. And and we had to make it work somehow. And
it did.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Because I was asking about the difficulties in making these type of things work.
Yeah.
Particularly when you're dealing with so many different personalities, ladies with their own issues or not, or you with your own issues.
At least they're dealing with one issue.
That is fairly consistent.
It is very consistent.
This issue is always the same.
Always the same.
Jeez.
I know them individually. You know, there are certain things that I won't take because I know you.
Yeah.
You must remember that I never divorced these ladies because I didn't love them anymore. No, I still love them even today.
Yes.
Maybe not in love with them, but I'm definitely in love them.
Yeah.
And I love them that they gave me beautiful kids. You know? But I had to be very clear with myself. When I leave a relationship, I make sure that I've done everything humanly possible. So that I don't have regrets. Are there times when I think about somebody and I think, but I quickly remember why we are not together.
Oh.
And I quickly remember why we are in a good space now.
Yeah.
And maybe I love this peace.
Because you are in a good space.
I'm in a good space now.
Yeah.
We're in a good space now. We can call each other anytime. And there's no issue.
Jeez.
You know? I go and tell them, guys, I don't know what happened, but I have another child.
I like that. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have another.
But hey, Lindo Kutle is here. And one day they needed a partner. You know, the first two, they've got partners. This one also needs a partner. One day
So they go in pairs.
They go in pairs. So we just had to do that. You know, marriage is a beautiful thing created by God, and I'll never stop anybody from getting married. Did not work for me. Maybe it doesn't work for everybody, you know, and I've got to be able to accept that and move on. You know, I don't think it's something that I would like to do again.
Okay.
I don't.
Is your current aware of your state of mind?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
And she doesn't say how.
Well.
What are we doing?
Listen, the tricky thing about women is that when you start and you talk and they understand you, then obviously you say, yeah. And then they've got friends like no. I made everybody aware of this. This my 50th, which is on the 10th of May. This is my year. My 50th is about me.
Yeah.
In fact, from now on, it's about me.
You're like Mandela. The whole year.
Yummy.
The whole year.
Yummy. 40, not even the whole year. From henceforth.
Okay. Oh.
From henceforth. Because I think I've given so much. You know, and I'm at a time where I feel like I need to give me.
That's it. Yeah.
Do you know, I want to go to Nigeria and stay there for 6 months and just do a theater piece in some small theater somewhere. I want to go to Toronto somewhere
and I
just want to do things like that, you know. And I was telling to my kids, guys, study, do whatever it is you need to do. I really want to do things that really make my heart smile, right? So even anybody that comes into my mind, my life, if they don't provide that space, then it's a no deal. But this thing about red flags, maybe I did not see them the first time or the second time. Right now, I bear mind.
Lay flag.
I mean, I flag and you could be putting good lay. I'm grand. I'm out. I don't play around. Jeez. No. And the people, it's being selfish. It's being selfish.
Yes, that's what it is.
But for me, God gave me half a century.
Yes, of life.
And in that life, I was growing up and taking care of everybody else. And now, can my second half be about me? Even if they gave me 10 years or 4 years or even 20 years,
that's fine.
Can I just do me? Is that too much to ask?
Yeah. And I'll say this because I like that concept.
Yeah.
But I equally recognize that it's not easy.
Right.
To implement.
Right.
Because you exist in a community of other people. This is not an island.
Yeah.
You can't imagine if Ramaphosa said, "Can I do me, please?" It's like, wait, chief, you're a president. And that's I acknowledge your role as a father and uncle and all of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's a ecosystem to your existence.
Yeah.
You can't say, hey. You can't.
Get grand.
But I understand.
That's where I would love to be.
Yeah.
But maybe the thing about it is like maybe I need to give myself more time to myself, right? Because the other thing about being selfish again is about taking care of my kids.
Yes.
You know,
that is part of being selfish.
You know, and making sure that my kids do it. Or if you are going to call me and about 10 rand, and if it's about my kids' school fees,
we good.
I'm so proud, Chaka. So I'm talking it in that sense.
And there's time when you would have given the 10 rand.
Of course, with almost ease.
Yeah,
with almost ease.
Jeez.
But now I have to calculate everything because I've got lives that I brought here who didn't volunteer to come.
And they're depending on you.
And they're depending on me.
Jeez.
You know? And they're depending on me. I mean, bulk of the time, it was me. Because obviously, when you live with people, you get to take care of their needs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to go back to this thing of independence.
Yeah.
And not independence, the freedom.
Freedom.
Why do you think it's necessary? And let's talk it. You can make reference to your own life, but in general, why do you think the doing you is an important thing in life generally? Because people by Nela, they give everything to this system that they've created, whether it's a family, they would work their ass off. Yeah. Why do you think it's important?
Because I do believe that every individual was made and created by God, and they are supposed to fulfill whatever that they are here for. by themselves. Right? And sometimes this little thing called peace of mind is very crucial and important. Our world is very loud with, I switch off.
Yes.
The very same protests we're talking about sometimes, like, I just don't want to listen to news. I don't want to do that because I need this to be clear. And it's that thing about you finding your purpose, and I'm only now realizing it. And like, maybe I've been doing this, and it's those quiet and silent moments that one doesn't want to do. The fact that you need to satisfy your heart's desire. You need to go to the beach if you want to go to the beach, and without having to ask anybody, or be followed by anybody. And I think it's important to relax and just be you. It's exhausting. I promise you, it's exhausting being an uncle. Exhausting being a father. It's exhausting sometimes to be a friend or a boyfriend or a husband. I just want to be me, even if it means for 24 hours, then give it to me.
Can I get
because
that?
Because that peace, I think, is very crucial.
What do you say to a counter argument that says, but you created all this and now you want a break from it?
No, but I didn't.
No, someone will say, but you ungishiyelile.
Yeah.
And when what young tan.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
But this is how it works with me.
Yeah.
It is right from the beginning. I don't know how people forget. It's like,
you say
I really need to record these things. I say it.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. Do you know, and there's a friend of mine who says, problem when I came with women is that you're too good to them. Then they see potential.
Oh, of course.
So basically, you are selling them dreams. But I am not. I come to you and tell you I've been divorced twice.
Yes.
I'm not getting married anymore. I'm done. I've got these children. Right. Are we okay with that?
Tick. What do they say?
No. I'm also not in this position. I'm not ready for a child. And then next thing, what I got the action up. Or which I don't have a problem with chaka, especially out chaka siku.
Yeah.
Chaka sharp.
Yeah.
Mara Oscar see and then you see.
Yeah, and then there's more.
Trust
then
me.
You have your own closet.
Exactly. Trust me, go black paper bag. I can Spanish.
Yes.
But I've mentioned this. Get your right from the beginning. And don't make me feel like I'm a bad guy who's used you. I told you.
Yeah.
And I was very honest and clear about that. And I really think there's a problem with people, and then in outside influences and stuff like that. If people were honest with each other, yes, the world would be much better.
If we said what we really meant and felt.
And felt what we really meant.
Yeah.
We will be doing so well.
Yeah.
Now, I'm in a situationship, or I'm just here, or I'm in relationships. I'm just here to have fun. Let's keep it that.
If you're good with this,
then 3-4 weeks. Now you take me.
we were having fun.
Oh, come on now. You didn't say good morning. Oh, comrade. You didn't
say happy Valentine's.
You didn't say happy Valentine's. I know. I don't want to get there, Then, but because I'm blunt, which is something that I'll have to work on in my life at my age of 50, I really need to work on this. It's in the way I say things, and because maybe I just don't think before I talk. I say things that hurt.
Yes.
And I've recognized that. And I mean, somebody was writing me 10-page essays right now and telling me about that. And I'm really, really getting to think about it. Because
I'll give you an answer.
That's it.
Oh boy.
And I'm brutal about it. But it's just the answer. Then later, maybe I could have said it differently. But it's there.
Well, good that now you're aware of it.
I'm aware of it. It's like, I know I've hurt a few souls. They'll be okay. Find a shrink.
Yes.
Deal with it. You'll be okay. You leave.
Here's something that interests me. I haven't been married. Maybe one day I'll do it.
Yeah.
I haven't had the luck. However, I'm curious at a guy who's been married twice.
Yeah.
You'll be excused for the first one. For whatever reason, let's give him a pass.
Right.
And then you go through a divorce. No divorce is fun, irrespective of whether it was amicable.
Yeah.
and you go through that, but you still have the wisdom.
Yeah.
And I'll call it that, the wisdom I'm going to do this thing again. What, irrespective of love, when didn't you have questions that said, maybe, at that time, like you are now?
Yeah, yeah.
What
did not have that wisdom then. I did not, in all honesty. Do you know, I was in my first marriage. My first marriage, I feel like I loved.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the one who was loving.
Oh, yes.
You know? And then with my second marriage, I was loved.
Uh-oh.
Right? And I'll tell you this. Itumeleng, wherever she is, she'll understand this.
Who's that?
Itumeleng, that's my second wife.
Okay, second. Yeah.
You know, I came out of this relationship, I think 5 years later. That's when we got married. But I was not completely healed. When I was talking about the anger and all that. And I think what messed up our relationship is me taking it out on her.
Eish.
I really truly believe that it was the first relationship that ended my second relationship.
Okay. You came with...
I came with baggage, so much baggage. It was
into the second one.
Into the second one. Right? And I think my marriage was definitely love, because I do love her. But also my kids were still young. And maybe I still wanted that for them. Yeah. Right? And which then I put somebody into that situation who didn't even have a child at the time. To stepmom, these two kids. Right? And then she had her own child. It's inevitable. Things are going to shift.
Yes.
She's got her own child now, you know? And then me thinking, I had a stepson and I treated him the same way. And she did.
Yes.
She did treat them well. I mean, they had problems because everybody has problems. And she had her own.
True. She was dealing with a new thing.
A new thing.
Yeah.
So going back to how I wanted things to be perfect, the more I wanted them perfect, the more I was destroying them.
Destroying them, is it because of what you were doing? What you were doing to try to get them to be perfect?
Yeah.
How were you destroying them?
I was destroying them because I wanted them so hard. I wanted things to work so bad that I thought everybody should feel like me. You must get me. This is how follow me. And now I'm the person that is disrespecting the individual that she is. Because to me, it has to be my way or the highway.
Because you think you know what should be done.
Exactly. No. At the time, I knew what should be done. And later to realize, actually, I didn't know.
Yes.
Next.
Do you know you described this person before?
Yeah.
When you were talking about how you walk into the house and you want things to be the way you want them to be.
Yeah.
You're like, unclean.
Exactly.
That's the same person.
That's the same person. That you... I'm conscious about now. I'm very conscious about now. I wasn't.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. And to be honest, it's the people around me that made me aware of it.
Yeah.
You know, I look back and I'm thinking, with either Nobuntu or Itumeleng, will be fine now. Had I just switched off something.
Yeah. And now you kind of know.
Yeah. Something had to be switched off.
What was it? Was it aggression?
Not only aggression, but I was uncompromising. I was uncompromising. You know, it's going to work my way. You know, and that made that aggression, and which was horrible for our kids because they've experienced stuff that was not pleasant. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I was a perfect husband that has never done anything stupid. I'm a boy from Soweto, grew up in the roughest place, and we're only told that the only power that you can exact is when the brain doesn't work. This works, and I was attracted to very powerful women who have got their own opinion, and then we butt heads.
Of course you would butt.
That's what I was attracted to. Was the same thing that I was hating now. You know, and it became violent, it became bad, it became nasty. And we had to walk away. You know, there are people that stay in relationships because of the children. We had to walk away for the sake of our children. And right now, if we hadn't, we probably somebody would be dead or somebody would be in jail.
Because you recognized, at least in that mess, you recognize that if we carry on, we are causing, innocent harm.
Irreparable damage.
Ooh.
Irreparable damage. And I think they are affected in many ways than one by that. Because, I mean, if you can be able to remember things when you're a 5-year-old, they must remember something. Which is why when I was talking about the corona space where we were able to talk and I was able to hear what people... I mean, my first daughter is the one who's more vocal in terms of what she feels. My second one is very closed up and all that. I think a mother then organized somebody to talk to.
Okay.
You know, and which I think is good.
Yeah.
Because we are just human beings who are just trying to navigate this thing called life and marriage and all sorts of things.
And it has
in the process, it's complications. In the process, we make mistakes. You know, and the only thing that's more important is be able to recognize those mistakes and do something about it. Fix them as much as you possibly can. There are some damages that may not be fixed. The scars are going to be there forever. But especially with my family, I've tried my best and I've seen them trying too. I mean, I know Nobuntu, the mother of my first kids, who was open to me and honest and said, you know what, I did mess you up at some point. I did mess you up at some point.
At least you recognize her role in the story.
To me, that's what's important.
Yeah,
that's what's important. It's like recognizing that you did play a part.
Yeah, I did something here.
Yeah, I did play a part.
Because some breakups. Yeah. When you listen to the story, it sounds like there was only one person who was playing. Yes,
it cannot be.
Not possible.
No, it's not possible. You know.
Jeez. Do you know your life story with 2 marriages has to be the most important lesson of all? Yeah. Because you tried and tried again.
Yeah.
And
now I know better.
Was it tough? Divorce.
Divorce is the most toughest thing. I mean, like, it's very hard. I mean, it's about, you must understand when you divorce, it's not just about the two of you. It's not just about your children. It's about all that global negotiation that has been happening. It's about all that, you know. Maybe the first one was more tough because we were angry with each other a lot, you know. And the second one, we literally walked together to the courthouse
and said, we're good.
You know, we separated for some time and all that, and people were like, this is strange. You know, when you're in the courthouse and it's full, but Mr. Majabel,
Mrs.
Majabel, Runa, we are literally Mr. and Mrs. Nkosi. We walked up together to a point where the magistrate was like, are you guys sure about what you're doing? We're like, regret. And it made peace, you know. And I go to a divorce. I'm close to my in-laws.
The second wife.
The second wife.
Yeah.
So the father and the mother, I attend every function.
Wow.
Even
You're still there.
Yeah. And they attend our function.
They're grandparents to your kids. Yes, absolutely.
And I mean, at Christmas, I had to be in so many places. I had to pass by them as well and all that. And everywhere. Because we're family. And it will always be family, and we are appointed by that little child that didn't want to come here, and we decided to bring her. You know, and so that relationship with family is crucial, but it does get difficult at some point because of marriage, because of divorce.
Of course, yes.
You know, because she's going to move on at some point.
Of course,
you know,
like you did,
like I did.
Yes.
And well, I don't know whether she's moved on or not. I'm not sure because we always said, well, I'll let you know. The deal is simple. If there's a person who's going to be around my child, let me know about it. Vice versa. So she knows about my situation. The fact that she hasn't introduced me to anybody,
you respect
so I respect that. Yeah. And I do not want it to feel like hypocrite. Because when they meet somebody else, they've got to, the parents, and the family from her side, they've got to put their energies on this human being that's loved by our daughter.
The new one.
The fact that Makenzo uting, mara energy na imo. You know, and I've got to respect those boundaries.
All of that, absolutely.
You know, it's very crucial.
Yeah.
You know,
Oscar,
no.
Yes. You don't have rights.
No, I don't have.
Yes.
No, I forfeited my rights.
You gave them up in court.
I gave them up in court.
Yeah.
You know, now I've got to go by what they think or what they say.
Yes. And I
can't just land like that.
Jeez, which is what you would do.
I would do with utmost ease.
As
much as the thing my mother-in-law would like me to do that, but I think I'm responding more to me.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So I can't just rock. You can't just find me at your parents' house.
Come on.
Come
on.
What is that?
At that time also and
and that's gonna cause friction on their side. And you we're not
so I've got to be sensitive to stuff like that.
Do you think because I think you have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah.
What are some of the most common mistakes that guys make in relationships? And I know there are thousands of them. And dating other chicks is probably the most common.
Yeah.
But in your observation and your lessons, what have you learned about the generic mistakes that boss I know? What have you observed? And having been a guy who's been married twice, I must tell you, I haven't done it once.
Yeah.
And when we was boss.
I'll tell you this, and I don't even think it's just about Majida, but it's just about both partners. We tend to stay on the honeymoon phase, right? This is what happens. When I meet you today, Muratu Owaka, I am not the same person 5 years down the line.
Okay.
Or 10 years down the line. We don't keep up. We met as young people who will go clubbing and do all the things and fun. Then we had a child. But you still want to go and do the same things that you did. It's about adjustments. It's about adjusting, which is something else that
you had to learn. Yes.
You adjust. And with the industry that I'm in, with constant traveling, with constant
attention
everywhere.
Yeah.
So we forget the human being that we are cooler and she's got our own dreams and ambitions.
There's changes on both
sides. We are not. We don't do that. It's like I'll give you a simple example about somebody else. Or changing career. I'm changing career at the age of 45. I come saying why I was working. Now I'm more interested in this now, and I really would like to do this. And the response I'm saying, then rejecting.
Jeez. And then it's easy for him to think, you don't want me to do what I love.
It's easy for him to go and sit in a bar somewhere and meet Ntabi saying, who'll be listening to his dreams and all that. This is what I'll be thinking that one must say, is that, serious, okay, how do we do that? Okay, now that we still have a job, because that will demand you to quit your job and then not be income.
Yeah.
Can you do something to save up for a year? To make sure that we've got something that we can, survive while you are pursuing your dream. Is that possible? To me, that would be, you are interested in my dreams. Than saying, to me, you are saying to me, no, don't pursue your dream.
But you know she's right.
No, not sure.
Yes.
But then I'm telling you, to me, it's the attitude.
Okay.
It's about how you say it. It's like, what's what you say about? Yeah, no, this is interesting, whatever. But I'll calculate here.
I don't do it.
Yeah, we are running this family. We've got to make it work for us. That's what I'm asking you to do.
Let's talk about Tabise Nkupari.
Yeah.
She listens
in Tabise.
Because it's the first time.
Exactly.
This is new.
Exactly.
Oh, Nali history. The
pause and everything.
And other dreams that you deferred.
Yeah. Exactly. Ntabiseng is willing to listen to that. And the way Ntabiseng is listening to this, that attracts me to this human being who listens to me. That's why I go back home and say, "How my man? Problem now."
Because
Ntabiseng, how my man?
And she looks even prettier when she listens.
Exactly. Oh, she's sexy when she listens. Right there.
So you're saying, Luena, you are willing to admit that in now accepting that life is changing.
It's changing.
You're not.
No.
You keep adjusting.
And I tell you, I mean, Mina, I met up with Itumileng. I mean, it's funny. We met way back promoting Tsotsi. We met in Cape Town.
2004.
Yeah, she was flying in the airways, and I was there doing Nkosi. We ended up being in this hotel, and the lights go off. They tell us to go and sit in a bar down there. We meet up, and 2 weeks later we meet in Joburg. 3 weeks later, ta-la-la. And I knew that she loved fun, she loved going out, she loved, and we did too. We did that together, right? To a point where now we never had this thing already. The friends, we will go to her friends, we'll go to my friends.
Yes, that kind
but
of.
I was avoiding it. I don't want to we'll be having arguments in front of people, and which we've had a lot. She's a Gemini, we had so much fun.
Yes.
But we had our negatives as well. Which is why I appreciate her, because I liked her. You see, that's a thing about it. And maybe Leon, I just learned it recently. This in love business is not the problem. I think it's about liking somebody. Because if you like somebody, you want to be with them.
That's it.
You really want to be...
You want to hang out.
You want to hang out.
Yeah.
So right now, we can hang out. Even though we're not divorced.
Because the like still remains.
Yeah, the like still remains.
That's such a crucial part, eh?
Yeah, and we live and learn, my brother.
Because the attributes that you liked are still there. But the love thing got messy.
That got messy. The fact that she was a public human being who just loved life.
You liked that.
I liked that, and I still do.
Oh, boy. This life experience.
And the life is improving. It's nice and beautiful, and I'm not... I'm wishing both of them all of the best, and purely because if they are doing all the best for themselves, they'll be doing it for our children.
That's true. And it's equal, I imagine, for you.
Exactly.
Your success and your progress.
Yes.
Yeah, it filters.
Yes, it does.
Sure.
And I think that's why it is, man.
Hollywood aspirations.
No. You see, I promise you this. And I think maybe it turned me off when... Okay, maybe let me get a question. Hollywood isn't going to work Hollywood?
Yeah, being a star
in Hollywood,
in a different world, or is.
With the streaming service right now, it's amazing that you can be anywhere in the world.
That's true.
But in terms of moving there, it's definitely not my space. It doesn't. I didn't like that space, especially with LA. And we were promoting our movie there, and you'll meet all sorts of people there with the golden cards and giving to you and all. There's sharks there, all the people there sound like Tibo Touch. Yeah.
Everyone sounds like No, me, man. It's the biggest thing in the world.
Yo, man. So no, come on, man. So I'm not that guy. So and I believed, and I still believe that Hollywood will find us here. And right now I'm shooting something that I can't talk about it much, but it's King Shaka. It's called. It's produced by CBS.
Okay.
We're shooting it in Cape Town. It's a very big movie.
A lot of CBS.
A lot of
dollars.
A lot of South African stars that are in there, but unfortunately, contractual, I can't talk about it for now. And that's Hollywood coming to us.
Yeah.
Hollywood is coming here.
That's it.
Why do we have to go there?
No, you don't have to. The world has changed.
The world has changed.
The way it looks like.
Exactly.
You don't have to get onto a plane.
I'll take. I produce something that I put out there. It can be watched in more than 160 countries in the world.
Yeah.
And if you look at people like about Tusombedu. But if I'll tell you, I would have considered that early in my life to move to anywhere in the world to work. I didn't have kids.
Oh.
Yeah. So that to me is one of those things I'm talking about being selfish right now, to be able to do that. And that is not moving completely to a place, but is being able to just do other work somewhere.
Go in, come back.
Yes. Do that and come back. Yes. And I will do that. I mean, our business partner, Jen Turner, she's been there now for quite some time. She's directed a beautiful stuff. I'm talking about, I don't know if you know The Fixer.
I know The Fixer. Yes.
She was one of the directors in The Fixer. Chicago Fire, she was one.
What?
Jack Ryan, she's just directing it just now in Budapest.
It's got posters and billboards everywhere.
She's directed it in Budapest.
Wow.
So she moved and she took a leap of faith, and it's worked for her. Jeez. It's amazing, right? Incredible. But not every one of us are. Yeah, it's not for everyone else. I mean, I've been there and I've seen South Africans really struggling there. Because one of the things that you have to understand that when we are going to audition for this movie, there's a bunch of Americans who are coming from Texas, coming from Arizona, coming from everywhere, and then there's you. They've got the accent already. You don't even have the accent.
Well, you're hoping they'll look with your accent.
if you're going for a specific,
you'll beat them at that.
Yeah. If that's specific, you know,
Yeah.
you know when they're looking for Africans, most in South Africa, you know that guy Akim Kakazim, first God, that's how South Africans should look like. I can pass like any Americans in Queens.
That's true.
You know, so he got distinct African looks,
features,
and which is what they're looking for. Yeah. When I'm out, this guy's from Atlanta.
You look like a friend of mine, man.
I don't know you, man.
You remind me of
Arnold Jackson. Yeah, you're that guy.
So out loudly with proper African features.
We go there and then we chill with them and we drop some when we went there, and this guy goes like, "You can speak English." You're from Africa, right? Yeah, I'm from Africa. And you speak English, because this is what's happening, especially with these movies. Africans are not supposed to sound like me or you.
Yeah,
they've got to sound like I'm heavy
tongue.
But I'm African. I sound like this. I mean, even in the movie that I'm talking about, it's been a struggle.
What is the challenge?
The challenge is
having
a dialect coach from Nigeria.
And they want you to sound like you're Nigerian or sound like you're African. It's not even Nigerian.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
It's our struggle.
So now you're learning how to sound like you're African.
Yeah. I have to learn how to sound like I'm African.
You won Best Actor for The White Wedding.
Yes.
The travel from one part of the country to another. A fun movie.
Yeah, very much fun.
Which clearly looks like it was a fun shoot.
It was. Yes. I mean, the concept of that movie came with me, Jen, and Raps deciding to go to Cape Town on holiday in December and decided to take a Land Cruiser and we just driving to small towns, Philippolis in the Free State, and just driving, you know. And then when we came back, we were like, there's so many little dwarf kids that we've seen in this movie and the treatment that we were getting on it. I mean, there's a scene in that movie where we're going to the bar and just full of puris and all that. And that is something that happened, you know. In this bar, in a small town, when we come in there and we're looking for a toilet. Obviously, we can see the sign written nicely. No, you can't. and then when you're going there, then they ask Jen, "Are you okay? Are you sure?
Are you sure with these two black guys?"
Yeah. We incorporate that in the movie because that's South Africa we're living in, and that thing still exists.
It won you a award.
Yeah, it did.
Were you surprised at the acknowledgement?
I appreciated the acknowledgement. You know, I mean, listen, I was nominated in the same category as John Carney, man.
Yo,
come on, man. You don't expect that.
No.
Yeah, like it's all good. But when I did win it, I mean, the first thing I said to Prajohn on stage is, I said, "Sorry, you lost.
Sorry, I beat you.
But it's your fault.
Yes.
You created a school at the Maggie Theatre Laboratory where I trained.
Hey, you trained me, or you created the environment that trained me. Jeez, man.
Exactly.
And you portray a lot of fun, happy characters.
Yeah.
You've done a lot of work with Leon Schuster.
I've done 2 movies with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like, you know, some actors, would be, some directors would call the same actors.
Yes.
It almost feels like there's something that he sees in you that he likes. What have you found?
Oh, man. You see, in fact, the first thing is just getting a call from Leon Schuster was a big surprise for me. You know, I mean, Schuster has been doing this thing for a long time, and it's been controversial. It's been a lot, and to me, but the call I got from Gray Hofmeyer, his friend and business partner, and the
creator of
Isidingo, and I remember I was with him back then. And we tried this, and it worked for the first time. I really had fun at doing that. I'm not so sure about the second time around.
Okay,
it was not as fun. You know, I don't know if the question of people know each other more now, or people getting older and all that. Yeah, but it's not like, I mean, people think that I was in Mr. Bones. There's a guy in Mr. Bones. He's American, that guy, man.
Oh yeah, it's not you.
But everyone thinks it's me. It's definitely not me, man. Yes. And then the thing about the funny and the shows that I've done that are funny, I did not train in comedy. I trained as an actor. But my first few jobs that I've done, the director that worked with me, his name is Robert Coleman. He really featured me in a lot of
the comedies.
He was like, "You've got timing, man. I love your comedy timing." So I started doing it. I did it more. It didn't only pay my rent. It also gave me popularity. But now, where I am right now, I'm trying more to do work that is more challenging.
Okay.
You know, because comedy doesn't challenge me anymore. I mean, I know
You know how to do it.
I know how to do comedy. You know, so stuff that is meaty and I'm going to be doing a series right now, and it's a very beautiful series, and it's based on Colin Chauke.
Wow.
And in fact, I start shooting tomorrow.
That's a big one. That's a big story.
It's a 6-part series, and it's a serious character.
If it's a 6-part series, it means it's on the streaming platform.
It is.
Yeah.
It is in those platforms. And I'm so excited for it. You know, I auditioned for this role January last year.
Okay.
January
a year ago.
Yeah. And now
let's shoot. If you're willing to tell us what type of role are you playing in it?
It is loosely based on Colin's story and the bush.
Okay.
And when they were still in the bush. And when he comes back and what he does. And his handlers in the bush.
Yes.
So I play the guy who was his handler, the guy who was the chief. There. And now he's some top minister.
That's not a funny character.
No, it's not a funny character.
At all.
It's a horrible character, actually.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a horrible character. And it's, but I can't judge him as horrible. Like I said, I don't want to judge a character.
No. But it's it's a troubled character.
Yeah, it's a very troubled character. It's a very nice guy on the surface, but he's, I don't know if this will give you an idea of who I'm thinking when I'm talking about this character. If this gives you an idea, that will be.
I got you, my man. I got you.
That's all. Loosely based on it.
I got you. All right,
Yeah.
let's as we conclude.
Yeah.
I want to mention some of these movies.
Yeah.
Because you've played a part in them. You've become a movie guy more than a TV guy.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
I love movies, yes.
Yes. You become the
movies, yeah.
You've done Tsotsi, Paradise Stop,
Yeah.
White Wedding, Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah.
What role are you playing in Gangster's Paradise?
Gangster's Paradise, that's Jerusalem.
Yes.
I was playing Lucky Unene's lawyer. I was
Oh,
playing
yes.
Raplana's lawyer.
Now I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that guy.
Yeah.
Blesser, we know. That's what
That's Timo Church.
Timo Touch's production there. You have to give it to him, though, for being brave
That guy is
to
brave.
take these chances.
That guy is brave. That guy is brave. That guy is
He doesn't stop.
He doesn't stop. Oh, man.
Wow, you gotta love that.
Yeah.
Kidiboni.
Kiriboni was was directed by Thomas Kumete, who I'm working right now with.
On this...
on the new telenovela
Yes.
called Nikiwe, which I think is coming up on ETV very soon.
Okay.
But I have been working with Thomas for a long time. It's like we've just become this partnership with me and him. Because all the time he's got a character, even the people say, when Kenneth it was like, you know, and we're working beautifully together. And then with Lungile Khota, with their production called Pap, it's just a bunch of young people who are interested in telling stories.
Yeah.
It's so amazing to be part of that. You know, I've always wanted new things. My child doesn't grow. And with these kids working with me, they play nicely with this child.
Yeah, the child inside of you.
Yeah, it excites me.
Wow.
So it's a beautiful set full of young people.
I liked Five Fingers of
Marseille. Yeah.
A complicated story that you have to watch it more than once.
You got to, and it's long.
Imagine having to do that twice.
Exactly.
It's a beautifully done production.
Yeah.
What role are you playing in that?
I was playing the mayor there. I was playing in the Five Fingers.
It's a very important character in the story.
He's the messed up guy.
He's the one that almost carries the mess.
Well, the guy who. His nickname was Pockets, so he came from a well-to-do family, and then he gets into politics after a while. When the main character, which is Tao, played by Vio Tabula, goes away, he takes over the city. Basically,
it becomes his.
It becomes his, until they come back and the betrayal and everything. They shoot each other, they die.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's such it's so well done.
It's
a Western.
Yeah, it's a Western. I mean, if you see the audience, we went to TIFF, Toronto Film Festival with it, and the way it is so popular overseas that it is here. Jeez. It's because it's the Western style thing, and it's just amazing to do. It was one of those. Jeez. And I mean, what do you think about Hamilton Dlamini's role there with the eye there?
You know what I mean?
I mean, I just like when I said it, he was robbed. He should have bagged a lot of awards for it.
Absolutely, eh?
I mean, he played it with his whole heart, yes.
Mad Buddies.
That's
rather.
with Schuster.
Yeah,
that's the one I did with
that's
Schuster. Mad Buddies, that's with Schuster. And it's amazing what that movie did for me. It created a different audience for me.
Okay.
Which is the Afrikaner audience.
Oh.
And guess where I'm staying? I stay in the middle of Boksburg.
Oh.
So it made me popular in the Afrikaans, in the African community.
When you go to the shop,
I'm the guy. I'm the guy who can it. I'm the better black.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the better black.
Because you're Schuster's
Because
friend.
I'm Schuster's friend. Yeah.
Do you think South Africa has got, and I think I know the answer to this question, a lot of talent?
South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh man. You haven't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Still a lot coming.
There's still a lot coming. It's just that I think, and I hope that this very young talent that is coming are not scared of making coffee, of pulling cables, of being there.
Starting from the bottom.
I mean, right now they come from AFDA, which is their parents pay a lot of money.
My nephew goes to AFDA.
Yeah, they come from AFDA.
Yeah.
And then immediately they come to set their DOPs. I'm like, from where? You're not a bloody DOP.
You're not a DOP, we haven't done it.
You're going to bloody make coffee.
Yeah.
They've got to be able to make coffee, learn from every department, because that to me is the power. Once we're able to know how the makeup operates and how a costume operates, and all the departments, how they operate.
Yeah.
Trust me, can you imagine if you become a director? No one will mess you around. No one will say, no, makeup is very, how it works.
I was at a shoot this few days ago, Radio Day. I was at some Daily Theatre.
Yeah, Daily Theatre.
This boy who was micing me.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I asked a question about the screen. They have a big screen in the background. And I said, geez, that screen looks really good. Do you know the distance between the screen and the presenter?
Yeah.
It's a random question.
Yeah.
And he said, no, mina ngenzi sound. And then I asked him another question. I said, there's a lot of extras here. Who organizes the extras? Mina ngenzi sound. Immediately I said, dude, you need to know everything that's happening here.
Exactly.
You need to be the guy we call. To say, hey man, go shota ini. Is mina ngenzi sound. So what you're saying is interesting for me because we do shoot TV shows in this office.
Yeah.
And I want people to know everything because you're able to manage costs
yes.
when you do that.
Yes.
I want people to have an idea.
Exactly.
So the statement you're saying, it's amazing how I'm right.
Yeah, you're
and
definitely
I didn't
right.
even know I was right.
No, you're definitely right.
Yeah.
Because these young people are supposed to be able to run their own things at some point. And how do you run a thing when you don't know nothing?
Sound.
When mina ngenzi sound.
And we are Micah. We are tester. Otepelapo. Bayaguzwa grand. And he mina ngenzi sound. Wow, man.
No. Mina, it's like my daughter who's doing production right now. I put her in production for a reason. And then I'm going to ask them, the production manager, to move her at some point. Put her to makeup there.
Okay.
And then put a costume there.
Yes.
She must go catering.
Move around.
I mean, let her move around. Let her know what's going on around.
Yeah.
She can't just know one thing. She needs to know everything.
It must be the best year of her life when she looks back.
Yeah. I hope so.
And out of this, she possibly will be able to choose a career.
You know what I'm talking
Even
about?
if it's not in this.
Exactly.
Who knows? She'll have a catering company or productions.
You know, it's so funny. You know what my daughter wants to do?
Yeah.
She wants to be a chef. That's what she wants to do.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're going to have a chef and you're going to run a company, you've got to know everything about how the company runs.
That's true.
Yes.
That is exactly
She can move here. I was like going to be talking to Siba, the Siba in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Siba, I like her so much. And I wanted to go to Cape Town to intern for 2 months.
Why not?
Be in the kitchen there, see things.
And
exactly.
She was too wrong.
Exactly.
And cried, and I want to come back home.
Stay there. Yeah.
Has the movie business, the TV business, doing what you do, has your career been good to you?
It's been, because I don't like complaining too much, because I do believe sometimes that you've got to create your own luck.
Yeah.
I
believe that.
To me, I think it's very important that we believe that. There've been ups and downs. But when the ups were up, they were up.
They were really up.
They were really up. And when they're down, they're really down, you know. But this is the nature of the business and the way we work, And I'm not about to blame anybody. I mean, listen, it would be good if we had a private sector in this country that was supportive of the arts, especially movies and stuff. It would be great because all the movies that we made were made by foreign money.
Yes.
You know?
Foreign money.
Sure, because DTI that will tell you that they'll give you rebates, but sure, rebate, you still need to have something for you to be able to receive the rebate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I've always said this. I look at people like your Tokyo Sehwala, your Patrice Motsepe, your Cyril Ramaphosa. I'm talking about the big business people in this country whose stories are told everywhere else other than here.
Yeah.
And who's going to tell their stories if they're not investing enough for us to tell their stories?
That's so true.
Because I'm not going to be talking about government. Government, we are not even a priority.
No.
Because there's so much more happening in this country. We must understand. It's true. There are people who are poor. There are people who don't have houses. There are people the arts is like entertainment is like nothing to them. But unfortunately, those people need that entertainment to just keep them. Just to
Keep them sane.
Just to steal a small time of their lives and let them escape. And we do that.
Or learn in the middle of the entertainment.
Exactly. So, I wish we could be taking that serious. You know, we pay tax. I mean, every salary that I get, I get paid takes 25%. But still, I'm not recognized as a worker in this country.
You're recognized.
So I don't have a pension fund.
You're a contract worker.
I'm a contract worker.
Yes.
And that's why it is, you know, which is the sad part of it, you know, and which is why people say, "Mtanam, don't even go there." And then because people think that it's glamorous and all that, it's glamorous, it's fun, and I'm like, yo, but you don't have an idea. You know,
it's not glamorous.
It's not fun. It's not glamorous. You've got to be able to love this thing to do it. You've got. I mean, I look at the extras. We're shooting in a cemetery, and I'm looking at them. I can cut an yo, I send cartel. Then somebody comes to you. And
we've got ukuthi mina sengicartel ngifuna ukuhamba essentially.
I did my first agent actually before I became professional was Lilian Dube. You know, Mam Lilian Mfulo. I started there. I think she gave me 2 jobs. And the first job was Taxi to Soweto, the movie, which was done by Patrick Shai as an extra.
Yes.
And I did an international called Ipintombi, which was done by as an extra.
It's amazing you call it an international. It's such a South African story.
Exactly. Yes. It was produced by me. Yeah. You know, how fun is that? You know, so I said to this woman, I've been an extra. But maybe Mina, I was not just an extra who just wanted to be an extra. I'm the guy who was fascinated by just sitting there and looking at this guy moving this camera and looking at the guys and the sound. To me, I was preparing myself to come into this industry more than anything else.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, look, I used to watch people like Silo Make. You know, Silo Make is one of the people that I really had a lot of respect for. You know, when I go to Market Theatre and Silo's doing the suit and there was a drinking place just across. They used to call it the Yard of Ale. And you'll see Bosilumak sitting there with all these other stars, and you're there, you're watching them, and like, yo.
It all looked so
foreign and far.
Wow.
And it was, and all of a sudden, one day, I gathered the strength to say to Silo, listen, I want to work with you. I don't know, in anything, I can help you with anything. And then it goes, where do you staying? It's in Klein Rockville. Let's go. Siloma Ngube at the time is Achimoroka. Do you understand?
On generations.
This guy is giving me a lift. Hey. Via Rockville, where I do be. Yo, and I think it was around about Bobo Tutu, just before the schools came out. The streets are aimed. Yo.
Why is that a problem?
No one sees me with Silo Makekangube. The only person who was able to see me with Silo Makekangube was my mother. Who then came out, and that time Brazil, she wants to go and no, Brazil. Hey. Woo! Ma! Somebody! Come check me out. Yeah. This way, because I get to now. In my country, they used to say I'm a liar when I said I knew all these people.
Oh, yes.
You know,
because I get to both say
yeah. So they were there all the time. I'm a liar. The next thing, Siloma Ngube gets a project by Coca-Cola. I think it was produced by Toby Mutwatsi. They want him to do this play, Nkosi the Healing Song, a very beautiful production with like Mlonji Kantu, the whole choir, 12-piece band, 12 actors, all that. And he says to me, yes, you can work with me. Be my assistant. Not assistant director, be my assistant.
Yes.
That's what I did.
Funny coffee.
Carry his back around, carry the script around, coffee around, and all that.
And you did?
And I did.
Wow.
Now I chill with Priscilla.
Was that a fulfilling experience?
It was a fulfilling experience. It was not just about him. It was about how he works with other people.
Yeah, you had to see, got to see him.
It was amazing. It was an amazing experience, which is why I'm saying just make that coffee.
Yeah.
It will take you a long way.
Carry that bag.
Carry that bag, man. It's not that heavy.
No.
Look like a fool if that's what you feel like.
Jeez.
But learn something in the process.
Theater versus TV.
They always ask me that question.
I will always ask because not a lot of people are theater actors anymore. And you have
I haven't done theater in a longest time.
Yeah.
In a long, long time. I did a play. The last play that I think I did was a Blue Monk. No, it was a play based on Theolenius Sphere Monk, the pianist. And I had to learn about him and all that. That's how I got to learn about people,
musicians,
about Gregory Potter and all them. And it was a long time ago. But then TV took over.
Yeah.
And then there's a question of rents and cents.
Of course.
Right? And obviously movies came, and then the addiction was just way too much, And if what I wanted was just to do at least one piece a year, and I haven't given up. But for me to go back to theater right now, I've not been there for a long time. It's for me I need some good 3 months training.
Okay, you need
I need to work that muscle
back.
up.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, because the muscle is different.
It is different. It's completely different.
What's the first thing that's different about it?
Right now with theater, it's the intimacy.
With the audience.
It's me and you talking right here.
So you have to connect with the eyes.
Exactly. I spit in your face.
Pretty much.
Ooh. That connection is huge. And with movies, in a good movie, I can shoot 2 scenes a day.
And you come back next week.
2 lines, 3 lines. With theater, you've got the whole script to learn.
Beginning to end. Yeah. It is a different muscle.
It is a different...
And there's no cut.
No, there's no cut. You're there, the skill of having to improvise and make sure that the audience doesn't even see that there was any mistake.
Forget the line and still catch on. And the story continues.
Difficult things to do.
Wow. Jeez, man.
It's not like stand-up. Stand-up comedy is difficult, number one. A couple of people have asked me if I could do stand-up comedy. I find it difficult. I think that is the most difficult thing, and I have a lot of respect for the guys who do it.
I agree.
Right? But with stand-up, you've written the joke yourself. So even if you're a potter, you can always do it.
Yeah.
There, you are giving Brecht. You are giving Shakespeare. It's written, everybody knows. You've got to do it the right way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I miss theatre so much, but and hopefully I've been talking to James Ngobo, who's now
who's now at the Joburg Theatre.
I'm supposed to go and watch his play Fences. I've missed it. I was away, and I need something. I need to do something, but I need a good 3 months as well.
Just to get the muscle going. Yeah. I think you're a special South African. I hope you know that. Do you recognize your space in the South African story? Or am I asking you too much?
I feel recognized, right? And I'm not even talking about awards and stuff like that. But I tell stories for people. I enjoy watching people react to stuff that I do.
Wow.
And I meet people all the time who remind me all the time of how important I am.
Wow.
Right now, before I got here, because I haven't slept, so I needed to get myself some eye drops.
Okay.
So I stopped at the pharmacy there. And at the pharmacy, and this woman goes, oh. And I'm like, this genuine happiness in this human being who sees me. To me, that's my reward. That's very rewarding. I meet Thandi Somazwai. Thandi Somazwai says, do you know why I did music? For exactly what you did in that movie. And what did I do? Before that song started, Tatis Kupu, do you know what you and Raplan say? Do you remember the time? Do you know where we were? And that's why I do music.
Yeah.
To remind people of their special moments, of their sad moments, of whatever moments. That's why I do movies.
Yeah.
I do movies for people to... I've made you laugh. And it was the toughest time of your life. you know, and you're going through this and go through that. And when people tell you, and they say the lines and they recite the lines that I've done, and I'm like, I've done my job. I've done my job. Hey, awards are beautiful. Don't let them fool you, these actors, when they say, no, hey, awards, they are not. Hey, we want them.
I don't care for awards.
You must listen. A child, after having done well, then you give them a star. That makes that child want to make more.
That's true.
That child inside me wants the star.
So I guess there's nothing wrong with wanting, because it says to you, okay, we are
exactly. You're being recognized.
Exactly.
To me, it's important.
Yeah.
Much as it's beautiful to be recognized by industry colleagues and peers
that
and
are saying,
yeah, man, well done.
Ever felt that, and I think you answered it, that you missed out on education?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No, I did. I did. I really did. I mean, which is why I try and push my kids as much as I possibly can. Well, to just do it. You have nothing to lose.
Keleza, man.
Keleza, because that will give you more opportunities in life.
Yeah.
Keleza will open you up to other great possibilities. Right? The fact that I got to the way I am right now, it was definitely not sheer luck. It was hard work. You know, but I had to meet my luck somewhere.
Yeah. Luck was waiting.
Yeah. You know, and maybe it could have been just a little much easier. A little.
Because the question was asked.
Yeah.
The question was asked. But I asked it.
Yeah.
And any other scenario would have been hard.
Yeah.
And fortunately, and that's probably where the luck comes in.
Yeah.
They said, there's more here.
Yeah.
Ooh. Because it means if we conclude it means without education, you need to put in more work.
Of course.
Yeah.
You have to work thrice as hard.
Sure.
And you could have just done the work first. The studying. It would have made things just flow a little easier.
Yeah.
And by saying that, I don't regret any my path. It was mine, which is why I want to tell these young students out there who are thinking that it is cool to leave school. It's not.
Yeah.
It was my path.
Yeah.
Maybe yours might lead you somewhere else where it's not going to be nice.
As easy.
It's not going to be as easy.
And yours wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
It may not be as...
But I had to work as hard.
Yeah.
Right? So right now, the best thing you can do for yourself, my mother used to say, "Ifalako." That's your inheritance, and that no one can take away from you.
We want to live like kings, but we don't want to work like slaves.
That's what I'm talking about.
We want the easy way.
And there are only two kings here. I'm Nkosi, you King David.
Listen to that. I like where we ended. I think you're a rock star. Yeah. I think we're lucky to have you as South African, as South African, and we're lucky that you will continue to do great work because you're almost guaranteed. You're like, and I bet use a bad example, but I'll use it anyway. You're like R. Kelly. We know the song will be good. Despite the mess, we know the song will be good. So, let's enjoy it.
Happy people.
There you go. So that's the beauty of it. Atiak, you're a rock star, and thank you very much for agreeing to this. When I got a call and the call was, he said yes. It's like, no way. No way. I should have asked him when the company go to Sophie, and I didn't. Sunday.
Right now, it's not been easy because I've been working
all the time.
And right now, I stayed for about 2-3 years not working. So now,
you did say you're recovering.
Yeah, I'm recovering. So I'm working. And I'm enjoying it.
And it's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
The recovery.
Yeah, no, definitely working. And which is very good.
Yeah,
and if not for me, not just me, a lot of other people.
There's work out there.
People have been going through hell, man.
Yeah.
So there is work out there.
And we have to acknowledge that when you once had 100 rands and you had nothing, and now you have to go back, you've created a lot of debts. Yeah. Now you have to come back, and so you have to replenish.
Exactly.
There's a mess that you have to fill because we can't assume
No. Hey, Baba, the salary comes already. It's got its own problems.
When they call and say,
Exactly. So I called my friends and I was like, my friend, guys, I know you know that I'm working right now, but please, my future, I can't even do my 50th birthday the way I want it. So wait for me around September. You can ask me something. Because right now, I'm still dealing with a 2-year mess. I'll check. Thank you for having me, man.
I'm lucky, man.
Thank you for having me. I really
you have no idea how lucky I feel.
Yeah, thank you.
I think I don't say this enough.
Yeah.
And people always comment and say, "Just man, how the hell do you get these people?" I'll tell you, I don't know. Let me answer that question now.
You've got a good team.
I do.
You've got a good team.
But also the fact that you guys say yes.
Yeah.
That's
that's your body of work, Autiaka, the stuff that you've done.
Okay.
That's what has, when you look, you are my piano child right now. There's no more piano child doesn't want to be on podcast and chill because they feel to elevate them like that.
That's true.
For me, who doesn't want to be with Mashabel?
Yeah, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't be able to see that.
Yeah. No, you
I can't. Yeah.
But please don't say it because it's gonna mess you up. But it's that. It's like the respect that you have for even your guests.
Yeah.
I was looking at you and Seppo and the child that you were having, And you know that I'm related to Seppo.
Really?
No, this is how we are related. This is my cousin by marriage. His big brother married to my cousin.
Oh.
My late cousin, she passed away. So me and him, we are cousins.
Little cousins.
Little cousins.
Do you know, it was so much fun recording with Seppo. You won't believe this. We recorded 3. There's part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
There's also part 3.
What?
Yes. I've never done part 3 with anyone.
What?
There's part 3 with Seppo.
Yeah,
it was so much
and
fun.
Seppo is good.
Of course. Yeah. He's a talker. He's an absolute talker. So he came here to record at 5 minutes. It became 2 hours.
Wow.
So there's a part 3 that one day we'll throw out there because we don't want to also be putting too much of him. We felt we'll play it because he's a motivational speaker inside of him.
Of course.
He's a teacher. He's a teacher.
That guy. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah. But I must tell you, you must do something about your knowledge of marriage and love. You have that, and you probably don't realize how much you have. Or you don't realize the value of it.
Right.
People are troubled, man.
Yeah.
Relationships.
But it is amazing that you will find me in a little corner almost on every set. And I'll be talking about it.
Talking to someone.
Talking to someone.
Yes.
I talk to a lot of people about it.
Because you see, the beauty of it is you're quite easy on the tongue when it comes to that subject.
Right.
You're willing to say, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I think there's value in that. And as an already famous guy who can put himself in front of a camera, you have no idea how many people would want to listen to all this and say, there's a show that Jerry Seinfeld did once. It was called something like Jerry Saved My Life.
Oh, yeah?
Or Save My Marriage.
Save My Marriage. Is
yes.
it? Oh, yeah.
And then the couple will sit and then Jerry with a few other opinion makers will come and say, all right, let's hear it. What are your problems? They'll say the problems and the guest will have a comment as well. And they'll have a comment. And did we save it? No, you didn't. Well, we tried. Move on to the next one. So, hey, you never know.
Yeah, man. This guy.
Thank you again.
Call you can give me that voice. Welcome to the
Royal Playground. It's good to have you here.
Good to have you here. That's the one.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sngam.
King David Studio Podcast.